Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another edition of Roll the Tape podcast. I'm your host. You know what it is, Manager Marty. We're going to have a great show today, but I want to play y'all excerpt from an interview real quick because some people still might have forgot what EPO is, and I just wanted to do that just for you. So hang tight, and I have to play you this excerpt. Hope all is well with everybody. Welcome to each and every one of you that's joining us live. And let's deal with the facts at hand. Let's talk about it. We know that we're going to talk about some boxing today. We're going to talk about the business of boxing today. You know how everything is controversial over here every now and then. So we got to deal with what's real. And let me play this real quick for y'all. Hold on, hang tight.
Boxer Shane Mosley, how did you both begin working together?
I was contacted by his strength and conditioning coach at the time, Daryl Hudson, and we talked, and initially I probably just sent some nutritional supplements to him, and it was at a distance, and the more we talked, it became about other undetectable substances and so on, and then eventually he let me know that he and Shane would like to fly up and meet with me. And so on Saturday, June 26, 2003, that's what happened. They flew from Southern California up to Oakland Airport, and they were picked up in a limousine. Actually, the company that was a couple doors down from Balco, Gateway Limousine, and brought over. And he had his blood collected first at the hospital over the freeway, and then we had a little chat, and then he got his blood collected, and then he came back, and we talked about some of the substances and methods that could be available to him.
What knowledge do you have of any illegal performance-enhancing drug usage Mosley was involved in prior to taking Balco's illegal performance-enhancing drugs?
You hear a lot of rumors. You know, you hear things about this guy and that guy, and he had used performance-enhancing drugs before he ever met me. Now, whether that's true again, you know, I don't know. I'm just telling you that's what I'd heard.
You said you taught him how to inject himself, and you even were nearby when he injected himself with EPO. What do you recall from that?
I was sitting at my desk, and he was sitting directly across from me. And behind him was Daryl Hudson, his strength and conditioning coach. And once we got to the portion where it was time to learn how to administer the drugs, I came around the desk, and he stepped back over here, and we sat knee to knee. And I basically showed him specifically how to inject EPO. We did something called a double saturation point method, which means that you take half of it and put it in one side of your belly button, and the rest you put into the other side. And it increases the effectiveness of the drug by doing half a cc here and half a cc here, as opposed to a single injection.
Can you explain what these are?
This is the calendar that we made up, or the two calendars that we made up that day together, with him sitting at my desk. So, the big issue obviously had to do with whether he knowingly did it, or whether he was told that he was being given vitamins, and it turned out, that I'd misled him.
Right, and he calls you essentially a liar and filed a defamation suit against you. Whatever came of the defamation lawsuit?
It's been voluntarily dismissed.
Voluntarily dismissed.
That's the legal verbiage.
And why was that?
Guess he decided to drop the case.
For some.
Yep. That was an interview that was published in 2017. I've played this interview before. Actually, a couple of weeks before Victor Conte came here on this channel, live and living color on this broadcast, in the first interview. And that was Victor Conte speaking to the great Graham Basinger. And that was an in-depth interview where you just heard Victor Conte refer to the letters EPO and how he admitted that in June of 2003, obviously before he was arrested, Sugar Shane Mosley came to his office and he injected him with EPO. You also just heard him say that he sent him supplements first. Legal supplements first. And then after several conversations, his strength and conditioning coach and Sugar Shane Mosley were transported to his office. You heard Graham Basinger hand him 2 pieces of papers. Those were the calendars that were used to facilitate the administration of the EPO and other banned substances that were given to Sugar Shane Mosley. And so I wanted to give us a refresher because there was a video that I dropped earlier today about EPO based on what I asked Victor Conte when he was here. There was a live that I conducted yesterday. Some of you may have missed it. Most of you didn't. Where we played the words of Victor Conte in the first interview that I conducted with him after I asked him what EPO is, the benefits of EPO. And so, there's some controversy right now brewing based on the language that Victor Conte used with regards to EPO here on this channel. In fact, there's even more controversy brewing because I've been telling you all there's some things that I see when fighters compete in the ring. I've been saying it time and time again. This is no new information. I've been telling you all. I know when a fighter's performance looks enhanced. Now, whether or not that fighter is using anything legal and or illegal, I am not an expert in that area. So I really can't tell you. But I can tell you that I know what I see when I see it. And there are several times that I have seen it, and I came back to you all when I was asked about what I think of this particular fight or what my reaction is. And I give you all my honest evaluation. Of course, there are some people that will still come out and say that I'm a hater. They will still come out and say that I'm just making this up because I'm making excuses. Of course, people just keep on saying I'm a clown. I see what they're saying in the comment section. But none of it phases me because I know that there are a lot of people out there, you all, the Roll the Tape film crew members, that appreciate the knowledge that I provide, and they support me. So it doesn't make any difference what the detractors say, because we all know what the truth is. It's even more controversy brewing because, unfortunately for some fans, the names that I've mentioned with regards to the reactions that I've given based on these fights where I see performances have been enhanced, just so happen to be people's favorite fighters. And some people who are fans of those fighters get in their feelings. And it's okay, but instead of addressing the fighters and asking those fighters who they're fans of, they come and attack Manager Marty. And I welcome it. I embrace it all. And so, yes, I had mentioned what I saw in the fight between Crawford and Spence. I did. Came right here live in living color and told you. I think that live garnered, I think, over 11,000 views. Thousands and thousands of people were watching. That was about 2 or 3 days after the fight between Spence and Crawford. Most of you remember that, right? That's right. And of course, I gave my assessment on Devin Haney when he fought Lomachenko. Most of y'all was here yesterday. Some of you even seen the video I dropped earlier today where I kind of condensed everything in a more organized setting. And I've been telling y'all that even his performance is being enhanced. And not just one fight, several fights. I've been saying this. And we need answers. It is what it is. I mean, you've all heard what his father, Bill Haney, said. I've already talked about this yesterday, but I think I want to talk about it just a little bit again. Now, I'm not going to go deep. I just wanted to just reference certain points like I'm doing now, and then we can move on and spin the block. We're going to spin the block on it. Oh, believe it. This has just happened, And so I told you all before. I told y'all after I interviewed Victor Conti the first time. Go back. It's public record now. It's documented. You heard me say, this is only the beginning. Remember I told y'all that? Right after I interviewed him. I said it. I said, it's not over. Because I already knew that a lot of controversy was going to come down the pike behind this. So we're here now. And you heard what Bill Haney said. Y'all heard him. You see, y'all can't keep getting mad. Let me reframe that. You can keep getting mad at me. I can't say you can't. Yes, you can. Keep getting mad at me. You know what my 2 famous words are in 2024? All right, then. You know what I mean? But Bill Haney told y'all. Y'all heard him. Didn't you hear him? You better watch that video I published earlier if you did. I'll roll the tape back down if you want. Y'all heard what he said? Hey, you know what he said? What'd he say? He said Devin Haney didn't even breathe in the 12th round of that Regis Prograis fight. Man, I want to say something real quick because I got the audience's attention. And I know people are watching me. I know people are listening now. I got a question there since y'all are looking, and spying, and trying to figure out what I'm going to say next. I do have a question on something. This question goes to Sean Porter. In fact, I'd love for Sean Porter to come over here and allow my audience to hear his answer. I wouldn't even mind going on the Sean Porter's podcast to hear him also, answer this question that I want to ask right now. I wouldn't mind if Bill Haney came over on this platform and rendered his assessment of what he said himself and, some other things, to promote Devin Haney. We welcome that. There's no issue here. But I got a question, though. I was thinking about something, I got a question on something. Now, I'm trying to hold the question, but hey, I might not ever get a chance to talk to Sean Porter here on this podcast or his own. I figure I ask one question at least, Jab that like button. Thank you, CEO Sense. Appreciate it. I got a question on something. I guess it's like rhetorical. It might be for Sean. It really is for Sean Porter, but I just had a question on something that when Bill Haney went over at the Porter podcast, it's called the Porter Podcast, right? Over at the Porter Podcast, and he made that statement. Devin Haney, he didn't even breathe in the 12th round. Just that statement alone. He made some more statements, but just that statement alone. I'm sure that there's other people who heard that and was confused by what he meant by that. You know what I mean? So when he said he didn't breathe in the 12th round, I had a question on that. Why didn't Sean Porter ask him what he meant by that? That's my question. Because Bill Haney said those words in the presence of a professional boxer. A professional boxer who's been boxing since he was a young kid or teenager, right? At least 20 years, right? From amateur, Olympics and all that, professional. Sean Porter came through the ranks. So I'm just saying over 20 years of experience from an amateur to a professional and possible Hall of Famer. I want to know, why didn't Sean Porter ask him to expound on that so the audience can understand what he meant, what Bill Haney meant when he said, that Devin Haney didn't even breathe in the 12th round. When everybody already knows that all fighters are going to breathe, especially in the 12th round of all rounds, especially in the championship rounds. I just wanted to know why Sean Porter didn't ask him on that. Can just say, hey, can you expound on what you mean? Some people may not understand that. Everybody's not a professional boxer, of course. So I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't Porter ask him what did he mean when he said that when he said that statement? I just thought that was interesting. That way nobody can speculate. We can know exactly what he meant in his answers. Because when we first hear that, that doesn't make sense to any of us. It doesn't. We can try to take up for him, but we got to keep it all the way real. We just don't understand what that means because we're accustomed to seeing fighters get tired in the later rounds, including the 12th round of all rounds. But when you hear Bill Haney say that Devin didn't even breathe in the 12th round of the Regis Prograis fight, I think that's fair to ask for clarity because we don't know what that means. You know what I mean? We can imply or insinuate. These are the two words that everybody always try to apply to me, which is okay. I embrace that too. But I'm just saying, what do you mean by that? I just thought that was interesting. Yeah. Well, somebody in the chat says we understand what he was saying. Well, can somebody enlighten me? Tell me what the man was saying. Tell us. Yeah, let the audience know. What did he mean? Talk to the people. Somebody got to give us. I mean, I would love for Bill Haney to, since he said it, get his take on that. You know what he means. Yeah, somebody in the chat, I think they said that they know what he meant. I'd love to see that person in the chat. Tell us. I would love to understand the audience, that we all can understand. Welcome. I see the viewership is increasing exponentially. I'm so glad to be here today. You see how I just started off? Sometimes when we have certain topics that can be sensitive to others, you know what I mean? We bypass the Town Watch check-in and we go right in. You know what I mean? We come right in. That's sometimes it has to be like that. And this is just one of those days. We bypass that and we go right in. Sometimes when you sit at the restaurant, you get the appetizer. Yeah? Y'all know that you get the bread and water first. Then you get the appetizer, then the 4 entrees. So we going right to the entree. Yeah. That's what we doing today. So yes. My goodness. This is awesome. These topics, I love dealing with these topics. I love it because it is what it is. Okay, let's see. Something along the lines of how well conditioned, fit, in shape, and strong his son is. Oh, okay. I feel you on that. All right. Double salute to my guys, Big Money and Mr. Pragmatic, members of this channel. Salute to you guys. Man, there's so much controversy brewing around this stuff, man. It is. We're going to spin the block, though, because I'm going to fly the kite out in the chat. Yeah, I'm just going to fly the kite right on out and put the link in the chat, and then it's going to pin to the top because I'm sure there are people that want to jump on the panel. And we can have a live discussion about the topics we're going to deal with today. Welcome to my West Coast audience. It's getting later in the afternoon over there on the West Coast. And so we're excited. We're excited for the West Coast audience that's coming through. Yeah, they'll be here a little. They're going to sleep in a little later on. Yes, the audience in all of the countries. We got fan bases all over in the UK. Yeah, we do. I checked the analytics. Come on through. Yeah, we just glad to see everybody here today, man. This is going to be an awesome live. The chat is already, I see what they're doing. I see what the chat's doing. The chat is starting to let the air fryer warm up first, and then they're going to warm up. I see what's happening. Yes. Yeah, classes in session, Supreme. You're not late. Come on in, Supreme. We're glad you're here. You're not late. Come on in. Yeah. You didn't miss too much of nothing. I just wanted to ask a question, since Bill Haney said on the Porter's podcast, since he said on January the 15th that Devin Haney didn't even breathe in the 12th round in that Regis fight. I just wanted to know why Sean Porter didn't ask him what he meant by that. Yeah, I just wanted to know why Sean Porter didn't tell him to expound on that. Yeah, because, you don't want to lose the audience in translation. We want all clarity. I told y'all before, 2024 is the year of truth and evidence. Yeah. No more people can just say things out their mouth with no evidence. No, we don't do that no more. Yeah, them years are gone. It's 2024 now. Technology has evolved for the last 25 years. Yeah, so now, we can do our due diligence. And we have information that's readily accessible to us now. Yeah, we don't have to go by just hearsay. What's one of my quotes that I always say, that I invented? Hearsay is heresy. Didn't I tell y'all that? Hearsay is heresy. We need truth and evidence to support the words of our athletes in this sport now. And whoever else represent the athletes. Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. Especially when it comes to anti-doping and doping. Oh my gosh, we definitely need evidence. We need it. It's important. It's imperative. We need it. For example, Oscar De La Hoya tweeted. I'm not picking on nobody. We just talking boxing. Oscar De La Hoya tweeted and said Isaac Cruz outpriced himself for fighting Ryan Garcia. That's what he said. He said that. So my question is, where's the evidence? You guys show something now. Yeah, listen. You have to show evidence now. No more people can just talk on Twitter or talk in an interview with no evidence. We got to stop being too naive as boxing fans. Hold people accountable to the words that they say. Yeah, speaking of words that they say, let's look at the words that my guy said. Double salute to him. My guy, Matthew Thomas. He is a member of the channel and a supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. And he's my guy, representing, my gosh, he's representing the West Coast. Hey, Matt, tell Vegas I'm coming. Tell Vegas I'll be there. I will be there. And he says, because I'm paying attention. My guy, Matt Thomas. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for your support and your contribution. He's starting the class off the right way. He's starting it all right. And that's what we're going to ask for each and every one of you to do. And I'm going to acknowledge it when you all make a financial contribution to build this channel. Now, I'm not asking for a pity party. Never, ever going to ask for that. But y'all know for the past couple of weeks, I done told y'all, and I wasn't going to say nothing to you all, but I think it is important to let you know every now and then when something goes on behind the scenes, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, every time I go off live all of a sudden, and monetization don't be there, y'all see what YouTube doing with my videos. Y'all been seeing this for 2.5 months, almost 3 months. They not pushing the videos out that I'm producing. Y'all know 200 views, come on, man. But I don't complain, you guys. Take the good with the good, bad with the bad. They're not pushing the videos out. They don't want to pay how they weigh. And you also seen what Victor Conte did. You know what I mean? Yeah, still didn't receive a check yet. Yeah, people done paid for the products with using the promo code. Marty, what is it? What's the promo code, y'all? Marty 25 or Marty 25 off? Some kind of promo for the snack product, right? You see, yeah, no bad age. Some people don't want to do good business. I'm only interested in doing good business. So your contributions help support this channel, and I appreciate it very much. I want to let you know that. You know what I mean? Yes, my brother. I know, Matt. I know you're waiting. Yeah. Who else we got? I just saw somebody else in the chat. Oh, yes. Come on, man. We here, man. Oh, Lucky. What's up, Lucky? Yeah, I went straight in. Hey, I went straight. We going straight in today, Lucky. We need answers. No more people. I got to talk about it. I'm sorry. Man, listen, man. It is what it is. They want to strike the channel. They don't want to pay me. So what? We got to talk about it. Listen, I got to be real. Can't be fake. You know, I'm not no fake person. I can't just sit up here and see what these guys is doing. Nobody want to tell the truth. Everybody want to be on payroll. Everybody want to be a part of something. Everybody just want to protect certain people that they cool with instead of just standing on honor and integrity. I can't help it. I'm going to continue to stand on honor and integrity because that's just who I am. Now, I got a question on something. Why is Bill Haney calling out Devin Haney? Why is Bill Haney calling out Adrian Broner? I just want to know. Me personally, this is just something, you know, just me. Why is he calling him out? Because last time I checked, I don't think Adrian Broner said nothing bad about Devin or Bill Haney. At least I didn't see it. But I'm trying to figure out what's the significance of an Adrian Broner fight? I just want to know. That's all. Do y'all know? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to start a dialogue between myself and the chat and everybody watching at home, live and live in color. Why would Bill Haney call out him, Adrian Broner? That's what I'm asking about. Yeah. Yeah, let me get this. I want to put this thing on the charger here. Let's talk, man. Yeah. We don't mind people getting in their feelings and sensitive and stuff. We're gonna talk boxing. That's what we talking about. Why? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why? I know what to do. Let's do this now. We ain't gonna wait. Bam. Flew the kite right out there now. We ain't waiting, man. We half hour in. We here. We half hour into this thing. Yeah. I'm about to pin the link to the top of the chat. Yeah, we gonna start a panel early. I was gonna wait till later. Man, we ain't waiting. We right here. We ain't got to wait. Yeah, it's Friday. We gonna deal with it. We're gonna have some fun. Talking about boxing. Yeah. Why would Bill Haney start a beef with Adrian Broner? Now I'm only asking that. You right, Supreme. I got you. You right, Supreme. I see you right. You right. I'm only asking that because the other day, earlier this week, right, I did a live where I was talking about the business of boxing, using it as a teachable moment regarding Devin Haney being a superstar and what has to occur to help Devin Haney become a superstar. You know, just giving game. You know what I mean? Just trying to help the young fella. Because I think that Devin Haney has the potential of becoming a superstar in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? Double salute. Wise Huston, thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, Wise. Salute, Marty. Talk about it. I am. Thank you, Mr. Huston. Appreciate it. Now, let's pin this link to the top. Let's pin this thing right up there now. We going in now. Ain't no waiting. Oh, hold on. I think I forgot to. I did all that talking. I copied the link. I didn't paste it. There it is. Bam. Now it's pasted. Now I can go ahead and pin that thing up there to the top. To the tip top. To the top, baby. We going to the top. Why would Bill Haney? That's what I'm trying to figure out. People making excuses for it, but I'm trying to figure out why. Bam. Pin it right to the top. Let's talk about it. Just like that. It's real simple. Right to the top. Let me put my glasses back on so I can hear what's going on. You know, I need glasses to hear. Yeah, there we go. Bam, now I can hear what's going on. Link right up there. Link is pinned up to the top. I'll put it on mute, Mr. Pratt. That's why you couldn't hear me. Yeah, we here now. So I wanted to know, what was that about? You know, because I just said it. I literally just said what needs to happen, okay, for Devin Haney to become a superstar, right? What did I say? What did I tell the people? What did I tell all of you? Devin Haney has to come up front now. Yeah. And where should Bill Haney be now? Back there. Do the talking in the background. Yeah, with the guys that wear the suits. Yeah. Go behind the scenes and talk to the people that can push buttons in the business. Since you represent the promotion company, yeah, they press the buttons. Yeah, no more you. Thank you, Mr. Pragmatic. No more you being up front now. Yeah, we heard enough of you. Yeah, the goals have been accomplished. I've already said this already, but sometimes you got to reiterate things because people getting their feelings and all emotional. Grown men be getting emotional and not hearing the words that you're saying, but trying to hold you accountable for words you don't say and words that you're not saying. Yeah, let the young fighter go on and get the shine and talk. Yeah, we've heard enough of you talking because you said that it's all about promoting Devin, and that's good. But there's no fights happening now, so it's no point in you promoting anything. Just go in the background and talk to the people that's pressing buttons in the background. Yeah, and while you doing that, guess what happens? Devin Haney can come up front, and then Devin can talk to the people. Then he can call out Adrian Broner and Ryan Garcia and Matias and Teofimo. And see, Devin can call them out. Yeah. While you back there. While you in the background. Yeah, that's what that is. I know. I feel the same way, Icon. I just don't want to say it. I just don't want to say it. But you are absolutely correct. I get the same vibes. I'm not even just saying that to throw. I'm dead serious. For real. My main man, Pots and Pans, double salute to him. Chef Curry in the building. Thank you, Chef. Chef Curry, thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Chef Curry says, salute, Manager Marty. I'm always willing to support the real, and you're definitely a real one. No apologies. So what? Yes, sir, Chef. That is my famous 2 words in 2022. So what? And that's going to be actually my response when people ask me questions that really doesn't make any sense to me, or if they make statements, that don't make sense to me. I'm gonna say, so what? You know what I mean? Who cares? What difference does it make? Double salute to another member of the channel, supervisor of the Roller Tape Film crew. My guy, Biz on the beat, just pulled up in the parking lot and walked right in the building. I see you. Yeah. See, here's the thing about that, Larry. People say that Devin does his talking in the ring, and he does. But we have to also keep it 100. Devin does his talking on the Twitter too now. Yeah, come on now. We got to talk about it now. Yeah. Come on and be honest and keep it real. Devin does his talking on social media. Yeah. So I figured if you can do that on social media, you can allow that to be transferable to you talking verbally. Yeah. Yeah. That way, that can be in the background without the distractions that come along with the antics. See, I said all this yesterday. I said all this the day before yesterday. I'm just reiterating it because a lot of people can misinterpret. You know what I'm saying? They can misinterpret what I'm saying, and they can look like I'm hating on Bill Haney or hating on Devin Haney, and that's not cool. That's not right. You know what I mean? Double salute to AM Sports Media. Live and live in color, I see you. I'm putting the work in. Yes, sir. So I'm just saying there's no hating involved. I'm just saying that at this point in Devin Haney's career, let's say if somebody say, and I said this the other day, I'm just going to reiterate it. Let's just say somebody say, well, look, Manager Marty, all Bill Haney is doing is promoting his son, because it will get his son the things that his son need to go to the next level in boxing. Right? Okay, so let's say if one of the goals was to promote Devin to gain him notoriety. Let's say another goal of promoting Devin, the way Bill does it, is to get him purses that generate a minimum of $1 million, right? And let's say that another goal that Bill is trying to accomplish by promoting his son, when I say promoting, we're going to get to that in a minute, the way that he's promoting his son was for Devin Haney to become a world champion. Well, hey, those 3 goals have already been accomplished. Devin Haney has notoriety. When I say notoriety, I'm talking about name recognition, right? Devin Haney, obviously, he generates a minimum of $1 million in purses. And number 3, Devin Haney has become a world champion. Not only that, unified in one division and then became another division world champion. So my point is the 3 goals have already been accomplished. So the antics that come along with promoting is unnecessary. Because the last time I checked, I'm looking at what's happening on the business end and I don't see progression. I know that some of y'all don't want to hear that, but it's my job to speak on the business of boxing. That's what we're here for. I don't see progression. I keep seeing the same levels on the business side of it. That's why I keep saying Bill got to stay in the background and go talk to the guys with the suits. Yeah, so it can generate progression. You see? Yeah, I'm going to give you an example so we won't have any misinterpretations. Let's engage the chat. Engage the chat. Hold on one second. Yeah, y'all, I had to answer that. That was Mom Dukes right there. Yeah, that's Mom Duke. You know, when Mom Dukes call, you got the answer when Mom Duke. How somebody else just called me? Yeah. Hey, listen, right? Let me give y'all this. I know people don't want to hear this. Hey, Matthew, some people don't want to hear this, but I got to educate my people. Now, here's the thing when I say we need to see more progression. Now, let's engage the chat so we all can be on the same page. Before Devin Haney went to top ranking Bob Arum, let's just say the previous 3 fights before he went to top ranking Bob Arum, who was he signed with? Come on, let's engage in the chat because I want to educate you all so we can understand the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. It won't be no misinterpretation. You know what I mean? People keep saying I'm hating. I'm gonna break it down for you a little bit. Give you a little bit of the entree, right? Who was the promoter that Devin Haney was signed to 3 fights, at least 3 fights, before he went to top rank? Thank you, Mr. Pragmatic. Anyone else? Thank you, AJ64. Anyone else? Yeah, I'm going to break the business down. I'm trying to listen, I'm standing on good business over here when we talk about this, okay? Nobody else? Anyone else? Before we move on. Anyone else? The question on the floor again. What was the minimum of 3 fights whom Devin Haney was signed to? What promoter? 3 fights before he went to top rank. Yes, I did. No, it wasn't yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Yes, correct. Hey, band up. Give me a minute. I got you. All right, now. Yes, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn. I see you, Andre. Eddie Hearn. So they completed the 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. Right after Eddie Hearn in Matchroom, they did a 3-fight deal with Bob Arum in top rank. Correct? Am I right on that? Am I correct on that? Couple of fights, at least 3 with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom. After that, he did 3 fights with Top Rank and Bob Arum. 3-fight deal with them. Okay, everybody's telling me I am correct. Okay, now, after the 3-fight deal was over with Top Rank and Matchroom, so you got Matchroom first, then Top Rank. 3-fight deal with Matchroom, or more, but I'm just going to say at least 3 because they did definitely fight for Matchroom for at least 3. And then a 3-fight deal with Top Rank. What is the name of the promoter whom Devin Haney signed with after Top Rank? Come on, y'all. Class is in session today. I love teaching. I do. It's one of my gifts. I see one person. Oh, 2 people said it. Anybody else? Come on, let's discuss this now. We're going to get on the same page today. Let me ask the question again. We already confirmed Matchroom and Eddie Hearn signed Devin Haney. He was there fighting for a minimum of 3 fights. Then after that, he goes over to Bob Arum, Top Rank, 3-fight deal. Now, what was the promoter after Top Rank that he dealt with recently after the 3-fight deal with Top Rank? Yes, you are all correct in the chat. Eddie Hearn again. He spun the block, bust the Yui, as we say on the East Coast, and he's back with Eddie in Matchroom. Now, I have a question. Because people keep on saying I'm hating. I got a business question. And I need a yes or no for it so we all can be on the same page. Because we break down the business of boxing over here. That's what we do over here. Do Devin Haney have his own promotion company? DHP, Devin Haney's Promotions? It's just a yes or no. Can I get an answer in the chat, please? Just a yes or no. We talking business now. Yes or no? Somebody said, 2 people say yes. Can I get some more? Let's get some engagement, y'all. Yeah, this is what y'all came here for. Yeah, we came here to talk boxing. My man G-Man just stepped in too. I see you, G. Thank you. Now, question number 2. Since everybody just acknowledged that there's DHP promotions, how come they're signing guaranteed deals with promoters? We need answers. I see you, AM Sports. We need answers. This not hating. I'm breaking the business down. This is what we come here to do. Hey, what's going on, Shaheed, my brother? Why are they signing guaranteed contracts with promoters if they have their own promotion company? They had their promotion company when they was with Eddie Hearn and match from the first time. They say 3-fight deal here. Cool. At least 3 fights. Could have been 4 or 5, but I think it was at least 3. Okay, cool. That deal is over. Then they go shift over to Top Rank and Bob Arum. 3-fight deal there. Okay, cool. That deal is over. Then they going back, bust the U-turn, spin the block, and they're back with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom here. If you have your own promotion company, whether it be on paper or not, it's legal. It's a legal entity. Then what is the point of getting a guaranteed contract with Eddie Hearn for multiple fights and then getting a guaranteed contract with Bob Arum and Top Rank and then getting the guaranteed contract back with Eddie Hearn again? You got your own promotion company. See, this is why I said, ain't no hating. Ain't no hating. I'm telling the truth right now. Ain't no hating now. Hear me out. That's why you got to go in the background. Get your business affairs in order. Go in the background and talk to the guys with the suits on. We don't need you up front with the camera no more. That's not necessary. Let Dev handle that part. But now we got to figure out is why we keep getting guaranteed contracts. We got our own promotion company. Why we keep doing this? Let me be clear on what I mean by guaranteed contracts. Y'all heard what Terrence Crawford done told y'all. See, Manager Marty tried to educate some of the people, and some people didn't want to listen. When I gave the difference between that back-end money, and being signed exclusively to a promoter. And when you're exclusively signed to a promoter, that promoter is obligated to give you a guaranteed minimum and or a guaranteed maximum. You heard it live here a year and a half ago on YSM Sports Media Channel. Then I brought the information over here. Why get locked in to an exclusive? You know what? This is what I'm trying to say. If you sign an exclusive deal with Top Rank, who's going to offer you a guarantee, the language that's in that contract is the same language that Shakur Stevenson signed for. That's the same language that Terrence Crawford signed for. You see that? That's the same language that Oscar De La Hoya signed for. That's the same language that Floyd Mayweather signed for. Y'all see where I'm going? Y'all want me to do more? Okay, I'm going to give y'all some more fighters. That's the same language that Miguel Cotto signed for. Same language that Manny Pacquiao signed for. You want some more fighters? Cool. That's the same language that Antonio Margarito signed for. You got to change the business model. We need to see progression. Progression comes when you make adjustments in the business. Yeah, some people ain't going to like this. But as my mom used to always say, it's tight, but it's right. Yeah. Talk to me, somebody. Because the thing about it is, when you know the business, you do according to what the business tell you to do. Now, I know some people ain't gonna like that. That's not good business. I hate to break the news to some people. I wasn't gonna say nothing yet, but I figure we here live and I got to give y'all fresh bread. That's not good business. And this is coming from the manager now. I'm telling you, that's not good business. You have to progress in business. Ain't no point of spinning the block doing a U-turn back to Eddie Hearn. No disrespect. I know you want to get the title, but you got to understand something. Look at what the business model of Al Heyman is doing. That's why don't make me find this video and pull it up now. I did it live right after the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight. I'm passionate about this, y'all. That's why I'm getting so excited. The air fryer is warming up. You can feel it, don't you? I did a reaction video live in living color. And I said, Devin Haney, if you're listening to Manager Marty, this is what I said back in May. Now that you are a free agent, get on the phone and dial up Al Heyman. Some of y'all remember I told Mr. Pragmatic was here. Y'all remember I told him that? I said, get on the phone, dial in numbers, and get on the phone and do a deal with Al Heyman. Especially if you want the Tank Davis fight. It's a no-brainer. The same thing I told Terrence Bud Crawford when he was with Top Rank and his deal was done. What did I tell Bud to do, y'all? Get on the phone and go call Al Heyman and do a multi-fight deal with PBC so you can get the fight with Spence. Didn't you hear me tell him that? So how come when I'm telling Devin Haney that, I'm a hater? You are a free agent. You don't need to get locked into exclusive contracts with promoters because you got to pay 30% of your purse to the promoter. That's not good business. If I got my own promotion company, I know people want to keep on trying to give credit where it's not supposed to be due. And so they say, well, no, it's a co-promotion deal. Well, if it's a co-promotion deal, the fighter that's under the DHP promotion brand shouldn't get the same contract Shakur Stevenson got. Shouldn't get the same contract that Terrence Crawford had when he was over at Top Rank. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because you know when you lock down in an exclusive a contract with a promoter, you know the promoter tell you what date you gonna fight. You know the promoter tell you what venue you're gonna fight at. You know the promoter tells you how much you're guaranteed to get paid by the promoter based on the minimum and the maximum, according to the language in the contract. This is not new information for some of you. I taught y'all this already. Last year, I've been teaching my audience, so I'm just picking up where I left off at. You see that? Class is in session. So if you have your own promotion company, you were a free agent at least twice. At least twice. After the first Eddie Hearn deal, that's why I asked y'all who was the first promoter before you went to Top Rank. Eddie Hearn, right? Okay, when you were done with Eddie Hearn the first time, you were a free agent with your own promotional company. But instead of you staying on that route to get the back end money, to get the other streams of revenue for your company, your entity, your promotion company, you go and follow the same road that you followed to get with Eddie, and you just switched the promoter. That's all you did, and went to Bob Arum in Top Rank. Then you leave Bob Arum in Top Rank by being locked into an exclusive 3-fight deal, which he did accomplish in getting the belts, which is great. And then right after that, Devin Haney was a promoter for Devin Haney was a free agent for the second time. And then instead of you leveraging your free agency, since you got your own promotion company, you keep following the same road. Now you back with Eddie Hearn. That's not good business. From one businessman to another, that's not good business. There's no progression. You done fought 7 fights while you had your own promotional company and guaranteed contracts. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking down the business of boxing right now. Where's the leverage? You forfeit your leverage when you lock into a deal, and guess what else you forfeit? 30% of your purse. When all you had to do was just cut the middleman out. All you did was ask somebody else to get paid. Hello. This is why we haven't seen Devin Haney. I'm talking about the information that we have thus far. We haven't seen his purse go above 1.5 million. Now somebody gonna say, Manager Marty, what you talking about? Okay, let's talk about it. When he fought Regis Prograis, the paperwork is out already. The paperwork is out. He got paid a guaranteed of $1.5 million for that fight. But then 5 or 6 months earlier, he fought Lomachenko. And he didn't get paid more than 1.5 million then. Where's the progression? You're supposed to get paid more money in your next fight than you did in your last fight. Come on and talk to me, somebody. Talk to the professor today. We need answers. That's not good business. So when people say, well, how many pay-per-views did Regis and Devin Haney generate? Notice I never talked about the pay-per-view numbers. You know why? Because it don't make no difference. You want to know why it don't make no difference to me? Because the fighter is not going to benefit from it. So let's say they did do 300,000 buys. Let's just say they did 300,000 buys. Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney. Well, Devin Haney and Regis are both locked into a guaranteed contract with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. So they're not entitled to the back end money. So that's why I never talked about the pay-per-view numbers. But you heard other content creators talking about it. And the reason why is because it is good content. But see, you got to understand the business of boxing. So now that's why I love when other content creators come over here. And I know some of them, I'm not talking about the ones that I'm cool with. I'm talking about the haters. Yeah, that don't be in the chat. They scared to come in the chat and let me know they're here, but I know they watching. You know why I know they watching? Because they ain't know nothing all this time. But then when they come over here, they hear the teachings of the professor, Manager Marty, then they go take and then run, they go freeload, eat for free over here, then they go take it and then try to go act like they knew all along what was going on. Yeah, I see what's going on. Yeah. So all I'm saying is we got to do good business if we want to turn Devin Haney into a superstar. See, this ain't no hating. This is just facts. And guess what? If you know the business of boxing, you have no choice but to agree with me. You really have no choice because I'm right about what I'm talking about. That's why you do have a choice. I ain't gonna say you don't have a choice. But it will be asinine if you disagree with me if you know the business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all I'm saying is you have to understand how the business of boxing works. And I teach y'all so that when I teach you and I bring up certain points, y'all already be on point like, oh, I know what he's talking about. That's correct. You are a free. Look, now watch how I spin Terrence Crawford in the mix to prove my point. Terrence Crawford, guess what? He understood the difference between getting a guaranteed purse than being locked into a contract. Whew. Man. You see that? He's locked into a contract getting a guaranteed purse. He knows the difference between that and getting that back end money. You see, you get that back end money because there is no promoter you got to be locked into when you go over to the great Al Haney. That's why I keep telling Ryan Garcia, call that man. You got problems with Golden Boy? Cool. When your contract is up, get on the phone and you call the great Al Haney. Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting locked into no contract where 30% of your purse got to go to the promoter. Yeah. Get on the phone, Ryan, and call him. I told Devin Haney after the Lomachenko fight, I can pull it up. I said, don't you go slide with nobody. On the phone, call that man. And guess who else I told that to? Bud Crawford. I told y'all when I met Bud Crawford what I told him. See, y'all keep forgetting. That's why y'all keep trying to throw this hating up there. No. I never even told Bud Crawford I was a manager when I met him. And I'm talking about when we both was ringside, sitting at the Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. 15 minutes away from my house up in Arlington, Texas. That's correct. And I told Bud, took a picture with him and everything. I told Crawford, I said, I know what you're here for, Bud. You here to see how Spence look in this fight after that car accident. Y'all gonna get it on next, right? I said, it's gonna be a good fight, you and Spence. I said, I know why you here. Yeah, you trying to let him know you want the fight and everything. He said, yeah. I said, well, what's going on? Oh man, I think Bob Arum holding the fight up. That's what Bud Crawford told me to my face. You know what I told Bud? I said, if Bob Arum is the reason why this fight's being delayed, or is he holding you up from supporting your family and making money, guess what? When that contract time to expire, leave him alone. Don't re-sign with him. And guess what? A year later, guess what I found out? He ain't re-signed with Bob. So I said, oh, that's what I'm talking about, because I understand the power of being a free agent in this business. And guess what? Terrence Crawford, he understands the difference now. And y'all heard him say it in multiple interviews after the fight. He done told y'all his newfound knowledge that he came upon. He told y'all. And he also criticized the business side for saying that the fighters don't even get none of the extra revenue that's being produced and generated when you locked into a guaranteed contract with a promoter. Come on now. When Bud Crawford right, I'm going to give him credit when he's right. Just as equally as I'm going to do if he said or did something wrong. And I'm giving him credit now. But what I'm saying is Bill Haney got to learn the business. Because we need to see progression. We haven't seen progression. We just haven't. There's no knock on him. I'm just giving him the game like I did Crawford right here through YouTube, free of charge, Shaheed. And that's what we're doing right now. We didn't see any progression. I know people say he's a good businessman, but I haven't seen no progression yet in the business model yet. I keep seeing them run to this promoter, getting 30% of their purse taken and getting locked into a guaranteed contract, not getting no extra revenues that's generated, and then run to this promoter and then spin the block, bust a U-turn and run back to that other promoter that he was with before Bob. I mean, that's what I see, Shaheed. I mean, what do you see in all this, Shaheed?
I see that they took peace to you, brother. I see that they took your advice, because if you think about it, the time frame, they didn't have that until you actually verbalized it. I know they got people watching your channel, bro. So I think that the advice that you gave, all of a sudden Terrence Crawford got that contract that he was searching for. Remember, he went live on Instagram saying that he was getting effed up out of the deal and no back end money, no nothing. And then when you went, live on your podcast, you let it be known what it was he needed to do to seal the deal. And actually, right after that, not too much longer after that, he sealed the deal.
That's right. That's correct. And if Bill Haney and them watching, listen to the manager and do the same thing Bud did. And guess what? Devin Haney is going to become a superstar if they follow the blueprint that I'm putting down. Because right now, he's still stuck in this star level chasing after belts. When you got a guy in Tank Davis who don't need no belts no more. When you got a guy in Tank Davis who don't need to be locked into a guaranteed contract with a promoter. You see my point? Superstar. Deontay Wilder, superstar. Errol Spence, superstar. Know why? Because they ain't locked into no guaranteed promoter and they got good representation. It's very simple here. And guess what else all three of them got in common? Besides them having world titles. This is another thing they got in common. They're all three of those guys are American. See, that's why I point those three guys out. I can throw Danny Garcia in there too. He a superstar too. But I'm just saying is these guys are Americans. I mean, I can do a little thing on Canelo and Ryan, them Mexicans, but no, we ain't talking about them today. We talking about the Americans that can become superstars in this business. They're Americans. And Devin Haney is an American, and he has the potential to be a superstar. But what's happening is the business model, not progression. No progression in the business model. All that doing this and camera and all that ain't the way. Bill Haney calling out fighters, that ain't the way. It ain't working. All that chasing after the belts, that ain't the way, because guess what? You're still losing money there. Let's talk about it now. I'm a businessman. See, we in business to make money and mitigate our risk at the same time. That's what good businessmen and women do. So now let's put this in perspective real quick, Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
So you locked into a contract with a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give you a guaranteed purse that never generated more than 1.5 million. We know that's a fact. Fact number 2, 30% of your purse going to go to the promoter. And fact number 3, since you want to chase the belts, you got the belts, and watch this. 3% of each of the belts that you're walking around with, 3% of your purse got to go to the sanctioning body. So just off of one fight, you losing 33% of your purse. 30 for the promoter and 3% to the sanctioning body who you walking around carrying a belt. Come on, let's talk about it now. 33% of Devin Haney's purse, every fight that he fights in, since he's a title holder, and that's only with one belt. Don't let me add the other ones when he was undisputed. He had all 4 belts, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
12% right there. 42% of your earnings got to go to somebody else and not back into the business of Devin Haney Promotions. Double salute to my guy, Fort Green Pharaoh, member of the channel, and supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew. Am I making any sense?
Completely. Complete sense. So you said previously that Devin Haney got to stop letting Bill Haney do all the talking. That he need to be the one that start doing all the talking to show that he's a businessman and he's business orientated and that he's the one that can make the deals for himself. Why did you say that?
Good question. The reason why I said that, first and foremost, Devin Haney is 25 or 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If he was 13 or 14 or 15 or 16, 17, 18, possibly 19, I can see his dad talking for him. But the man is closer to 30 now than he is 20. That young man don't need nobody to talk for him. What I mean by that is he knows how to talk for himself. We heard him talk in press conferences, didn't we? Okay, he knows how to talk. We hear him talking in certain interviews, don't we? Okay, he knows how to talk. We see the stuff that he say on Twitter. He knows how to talk. And some of the things do be disrespectful that he say on Twitter. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, at least he knows how to communicate. So he don't need nobody to talk for him. Not his dad. He don't need that. Second reason why I say that, because the antics that come along with the talking from his dad, it hurts the business of DHP. It hurts the business. Let me give you an example. Let's say Devin Haney and Tank was really going to fight. How you think Floyd Mayweather and Al Haymon supposed to feel when they hear Bill Haney on social media talking about, my son's a better fighter than Floyd. He accomplished way more than Floyd at 25. How you think they're supposed to feel when they hear that? You think they're supposed to say, well, look, we're going to let him generate 10 million when he dissed me. I'm not saying Floyd or Al Haymon be in their feelings. That is not what I'm saying. I need everybody to understand we're human. I'm just putting it out there. Let's just hypothetically say that if Floyd Mayweather hear that coming from them, now Shaheed, if you say it, Floyd ain't gonna feel nothing. If I say it, he might not feel nothing. But if Bill Haney say that, he's supposed to feel something. Wanna know why? Because I let y'all rock out in my gym. I let my dad hold the mitts and kind of do a little training with young Devin. Even I got the mitts, and I was even doing some work as Floyd Mayweather with Devin. Hold up, how am I supposed to feel now when you say that? I'm just saying. So the antics that come along with that. What about De La Hoya? Let's say Bill Haney wanted to negotiate with De La Hoya and Golden Boy on behalf of Devin Haney fighting somebody at Golden Boy. How you think Bernard's supposed to feel when you on there dissing Bernard Hopkins, who never even mentioned your son's name, by the way? But okay, that's cool. He never even mentioned your son's name when he said the young fighters, but you took it and run with, okay, no problem, that's cool. How you think Bernard not supposed to feel with you coming over there beating one of their fighters? They're gonna give you an opportunity, because Devin Haney's a special fighter. They're gonna give you an opportunity to come over their stable and beat their fighter, get some bread and walk away, and you diss me? They don't do that in business. Not in boxing. They don't do that in boxing. So what I'm saying is the antics that come along with that can hurt the brand. I just gave 2 examples with 2 different promoters, 2 different entities, PBC and Golden Boy. The antics that come along with that. That's what I'm saying. So that's the second reason why I'm saying why that can hurt Devin. And the third thing is because you're doing so much talking in the media and social media that your business model is not working. See, if we saw progression, the real businessmen and women, we accept what you're doing with the antics. I have this saying. It's called tolerance versus productivity ratio. Let me put this in relationship terms. We might have women. I don't see no women in the chat right now, but we got women watching us all live and all across the world. And they'll understand this concept, Shaheed. When a man is with a woman and he is producing in the relationship, that woman may likely tolerate a little bit. Huh? When the man's producing, the woman's willing to tolerate. Yeah. See, when you producing as a man, the woman might tolerate you leaving your socks and underwear on the ground. Yeah, we ain't got nothing but adults here. I can say this. Yeah, she might tolerate that. She might tolerate you leaving some dishes in the sink every now and then. She might even tolerate you coming home late every now and then because you're producing. But watch when you stop producing. Her tolerance level does the same thing to your productivity level. It starts to reduce. And men, we do it to women too. It ain't no different. You ain't producing nothing. All you doing is complaining. Oh, my tolerance level going to change. So what I'm saying is we would tolerate the antics that come with Bill Haney if the productivity level increases. But we keep seeing the same business model month after month, year after year, and all y'all doing is losing money with the percentages that you got to pay the sanctioning bodies to hold the title. With the percentages you got to pay the promoter, locking into guaranteed contracts with them. And you have your own entity. We need answers.
So do you think that Devin should, suggest that his father fall back, or just what would be your suggestion to Devin Haney if he's listening right now, as far as his father hurting his stock? Because it's clear that he's hurting it, because that situation with him and Bernard the other week, that goes to show you that I don't know if he's doing it for promotional purposes or trying to have controversy sales. But it was like I didn't see no reason why that he had to have that altercation with Bernard Hopkins when Bernard pushed him. I'm like, is he doing this for clout, or is he doing this for promotional purposes to draw attention to him? For a potential big fight with Tank Davis. Why did he do that? Why do you think he did that?
Well, my thing is, I'll answer your second question first and run back to the first one.
For sure.
If you was doing it to get a Tank fight, Bernard Hopkins have no dealings nowhere near with PBC. So we know that wasn't the reason. We know that wasn't the reason of you doing that. Devin Haney right now don't have no fight coming up to promote. So we know that wasn't the reason. But what we do know the reason is that you thought Bernard was playing with you when he told you a year ago, when I see you keep that same energy. He told you that. The man told you that last January or last February 2023. That grown man told you that. Fighter or not, we still grown men at the end of the day, Shaheed. Hey, Pharaoh, we still grown men at the end of the day, Pharaoh, you know what I mean? So if a man tell you, you keep that same energy, when I see you, when that man walked up on you and said, "Yo, walk me to the bathroom," he was. To me, it don't seem like Bernard Hopkins was playing with you when he said that. So if you know that he said that and he was serious, oh, there's no joking around. There's no promotion in that because the man's really for real. Okay, and I'm not advocating for violence, but what I'm saying is that's what I mean by the antics. You did all that on social media, and you ran across a guy. He's not playing with you. Now I know people have excused that behavior of Bill Haney by throwing shots at Bernard, but when a man tell you to keep that same energy, he's not supposed to get that close to you. If y'all watch that video, Bernard Hopkins was touching all up on him, and I'm not talking about with his hands. I'm talking about after he was walking and he stopped. He was all up in the chest of Bill Haney. Bill Haney was still doing this. Bernard ain't say a word. The Philly came up out of him. And I knew what he was doing. He was canvassing all right, security here, boom, boom, boom. Because after I do what I'm going to do, I'm going to show him that he's nothing but an internet gangster. And I'm not saying that because I just want to be right. I'm saying that's exactly what Bernard said in the video. If you heard him, he said, this dude's nothing but an internet gangster. He said that, and then he made a move right after that. So when he said, you ain't nothing but an internet gangster, Bill Haney's still talking. But Bernard was like this. But his chest was touching Bill Haney's chest. And he said, I got something for him. I'm going to walk this way right here. As soon as, and he had his shoulder up on him. He had his shoulder up on Bill Haney's shoulder while they was walking together. And Bill Haney was still doing this. So it caught him off guard when Bernard nudged him. So what I'm saying is there was no need for none of that to happen. There was no fight coming up. You ain't in negotiation with Golden Boy. You ain't in negotiation with Al Heyman. And in fact, let me take it another step further since you brought it up, Shaheed. Where was Devin Haney when all this happened?
Nowhere.
I didn't see him in the video. Did you?
No, sir. He was nowhere in sight.
Oh, okay. So once again, who is this for? Because Devin wasn't there. Now, he might have been there at the fight. I don't know. But I'm talking about in the video that I saw. I didn't see Devin Haney nowhere. So when people say he's promoting his son, I'm trying to figure out, well, his son's not there. Where he at? We see more of Bill Haney on YouTube than we do Devin. We need to see more of Devin Haney because it's all about the fighter. It's not about nobody else in camp. And that's why I took my glasses off, because I want everybody to see me when I say that. And anybody in the business or sport of boxing can take that any way they want to take that. This sport is about the fighter. See, I'm a manager. I advocate for the fighter. It's for the fighter to get the recognition. It's for the fighter to get the airtime. It's for the fighter to get the check so the fighter can break down the money and knife it down for everybody else that could in the team to support. You know what I mean? But nobody get more shine. Ain't no puff daddies around here. There ain't no, Suge Knight. What did he say at the thing? He said, if you want to stop seeing an executive producer all up in the videos, dancing, come to Death Row. Yeah, that what Suge was telling Puffy. Now, ain't no puff daddies in this business. The fighter gets the airtime. The fighter gets the publicity. And we can't keep saying that Devin don't know how to talk. Yes, he do. He know how to talk. We heard him talking in that face-off when he did a good, Devin Haney did a good job in that face-off with him and Regis. They did a good face-off, man. Give Devin credit for that. They did a wonderful job. The young man knows how to articulate. He just needs the opportunity, but he's being outshined right now. His dad got to step back, get the business model together, make some adjustments, because y'all losing money every time you fight. And you're supposed to gain money in this business. Now, to answer your first question on what Devin will have to do, he has to have a conversation with his daddy. And I know that's a tough one there. I know that's going to be a hard one. Danny Garcia had to have one with his daddy. Floyd Mayweather had to have one with his daddy. Roy Jones Jr. had to have one with his daddy. Shane Mosley had to have one with Jack Mosley. Sometimes you just got to have that conversation with dad and say, Dad, I appreciate everything you've done. And you can still operate in the same capacity. But right now, I got to show the people they need a connection with me. I'm getting older now. They need a connection with me. Because what happens is, and I have people on this channel right here, live in living color, say that they won't support Devin Haney, not because they don't like him, it's because of his father. You understand? So all I'm saying is, all you got to do is tell Dad Just tone it down a little bit, Dad. Go behind the scenes and let me substitute. In other words, let's say if Bill Haney maps out in his head that he needs a minimum of 4 hours of YouTube time. Okay, we're gonna substitute that. I'm gonna get the 4 hours now, Dad, as the fighter, and then you can take that same 4 hours you was going to use on YouTube and go in the background and talk to the guys with the suits. It's just simple. But it's going to be hard for him because of the relationship that he has with his father and the respect that I'm sure he has with his father. But if you listen to the guys that I just named, them 4 guys who had to have that conversation, their careers went to the next level after they had that dialogue with their fathers. That's just a fact now. You know what I mean? So that's what he's going to have to do. It don't mean that his father don't have to do no more interviews and stuff. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he just got to bring it down and let the fighter get that shine. And then be in the background. You got to change your business model. You got to change it. Y'all losing money every time the young man fight. That makes no business sense. Fort Greene Pharaoh, I feel like I'm ranting, and I hope I answered your question, Shaheed. What's your take on all this real quick, Pharaoh?
Honestly, my humble opinion, Islamically, I don't condone what neither Brother Bill or Bernard did, the actions they took. That's not how that was supposed to go down. For instance, just hypothetically speaking, if I got a brother, and salute Brother Shaheed, if I got a problem with Brother Shaheed, Manager Marty, I ain't got to jump in his DM. I ain't got to tweet. I ain't got an IG. I don't even have to talk to you. I'm gonna go see that brother. Listen, Brother Shaheed, this is the biggest bag out there right now. Let's make it happen. Now, once I go through the proper channels, now I'm gonna ring you up. Listen, Manager Marty, we're setting this fight up. How should I go about it? The business aspect.
Yes.
That's it. I ain't
Yep.
gotta meet Brother Shaheed in the bathroom and be all up in his chest, hard body. I already told this man my intention. Let's make this fight happen. After that, the ball is in his court, and I'm gonna leave it there.
And you know what Manager Marty going to do when you call me to get some advice? I'm going to tell you 2 things. Cash at me right now, and then let's make the fight happen, brother.
So basically, he's saying business ain't supposed to be personal.
It ain't
Basically,
never
that's what
personal. And
yeah.
the thing is, I want to say this because I want the audience to understand this. I am no way in shape or form condoning what Bernard Hopkins did, because Bernard Hopkins is a representation of the business. So as a professional, you can't do that. No matter
They
what the
both are.
guy said, you said when you see him, you go and, speak to him. Once you seen the guy didn't want to go in that bathroom and have that conversation, it's all good. Leave it alone because you're there on business. You're there on business. Bernard was there on business. Golden Boy had a show. It wasn't like he was there just chilling on the weekend with his wife. The man was there on business. You got to keep it business and represent yourself. Now, if Bill Haney would have sucker punched Bernard or he had to defend himself, that's a little bit different. But it wasn't none of
Right.
that. It was just words, being exchanged. You know what I mean? So double
Bill
salute.
knew he was gonna get knocked out. He knew he was gonna get knocked out if he went to that bathroom. It was lights out for him.
Oh, understood. I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
So you drop it right then and there as 2 grown men. Y'all settle it there. If y'all can't shake hands, it is what it is. But y'all settle it there so it won't be no disrespect or drama or nothing else when somebody see each other again. You know what I mean? Double salute. Aaron H. Muhammad, member of the channel and Roll the Tape supervisor, and 2 Cents Boxing. Always a pleasure to see both of them in the chat. Another member of the channel and supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. So somebody asked in the chat, will Bill Haney accept that dialogue from his son? If, in fact, that all of this is because of him having the best interest of his son, yes, he will accept it. Because it's not about him. It's not about him. It's for the progression and the betterment of his son, Devin Haney. So yes, he should accept that, but that's what's going to have to happen. And I know people are going to criticize me highly for this, but so what? I know I'm right about what I'm saying. And it is a hard task for Devin to have to do. But the bottom line is we need to see Devin Haney become a superstar. He has accomplished so much in such a short period of time. Our expectation level is for him now to become a superstar. He's already made history in one division, being undisputed. Now he's in the 140-pound division, and he's got a title there. Now it's like, you know what? He got the name recognition, he got the $1 million purses, and now he got the belts in another division. So the goals are accomplished. If that's what your whole motive was to promote your son, he's promoted now. Now go in the background, like my man Farrell said, and you got to get the business done. Because there's no point of fighting if y'all got to keep losing money over and over and over again, getting locked down in these contracts where 30% got to go to the promoter, and then you still got to pay 3% for each belt that you're holding. It makes absolutely no business sense to keep losing money per fight like that. I'm just saying, to me.
You think it make business sense for him to fight Adrian Broner?
No, absolutely not. We don't even know where that came from. Now we do understand the business model that Devin Haney has been running with, and it might not be his fault, but we got to keep it real. Isn't Adrian Broner in his 30s?
Yeah, 30. I think he's 34, 35.
Okay, 33 or 34, 35, somewhere. He's in his 30s. When the last time we seen Broner fight? Because he was supposed to fight on the Don King card, but he came out with the injury. Before that, it was BLK Prime that he never got a chance to fight, which was not his fault. We haven't seen him fight in about 2.5 years or so. So now you want to fight it, calling out a guy who we don't even know if he's at 140. You know, Broner's he got broad shoulders. He's a big guy too. You know, he might walk around 160 something. So now we don't know if he's in shape or out of shape right now. So now you calling out a guy who might not be in shape, ready to fight tomorrow. Then you calling out a guy who's older, in his 30s, and you calling a guy who's coming off of a year, 2.5 to 2 year layoff. We've seen this before when you keep fighting guys in their 30s. We keep seeing this play that y'all running. We can't keep seeing this play because guess what's going to happen? It's not going to get you the dollar amount that's going to exceed that 1.5. And I'm not saying Broner can't sell tickets. He can. But the problem is that nobody's expecting Broner to beat a guy who just fought in December in the way that he beat Regis. And Shahid, I got to take my glasses off and say this, and a guy that's on the snack program. Come on now. So what I'm saying is now it's time to pursue better competition. It just is right now for all these young guys. But we talking about Devin right now. It's time to pursue better opposition. Fighting guys in their 30s, that's cool. Don't forget Regis was in his 30s too, but he was a world champion, and that's why people let that slide. But your last couple of fights, you know, you fighting people in their 30s, you fighting people that's kind of like, oh, the hell a little bit. We need you to start fighting Matias, Teofimo Lopez, you know, guys like that, not Adrian Broner. So once again, it's hurting the brand. It was no point of Bill Haney calling out Adrian Broner. It's not gonna make you no more money than you used to get paid. So what's the purpose? Now the only thing I can see on Broner's end is he gonna get a nice bag, but also he can capture another world title at 140. But it's no benefit for Devin. See, what I'm saying is if you are advocating for Devin Haney, everything should be in his best interest. It shouldn't hurt him. Business-wise, you know, so it was no purpose. I know people say, oh, man, that's a good fight. Come on, bro. We know boxing, and we ain't going to play them type games around here. Let's call a spade a spade. More people would rather for Devin Haney to fight somebody like a Teofimo Lopez, a Matias, way before they want him to fight Adrian Broner. That's just my take to answer your question.
Yeah, in the words of Mayweather, boxing is a business, and it would make more business sense for him to fight Teofimo. You know, I think that fight right there, I think that would do numbers. And, you know, Teofimo, he got a belt, correct?
Yeah, I think he does. Teofimo, yeah.
But he's looking for Bud.
Oh, yeah.
Theo looking for Bud.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's looking for him. Well, I do know why. He want a big payday. He want a big payday. But No disrespect to Tszyu, but you struggled against Sandor Martin. You don't need to fight no. You don't need to fight no Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford ain't no Sandor Martin. But speaking of Sandor Martin, Devin Haney can go around there and fight him because I think he's the mandatory of that title. So it's no point of calling out Adrian Broner when Sandor Martin is your mandatory. That's all I'm saying.
I would even go with Devin against Frank Martin if Frank willing to step up to 140.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, people would say if he go up there and lose, oh man, Devin Haney's a weight bully. He was too bigger than Frank. So they still not gonna give Devin the credit. You know what I mean? Because now if Tszyu can say he want to fight Crawford, then that's gonna leave the door open for Devin to say, I want boots in them now. No, never mind. He ain't gonna say that. He gonna say, watch this, once again with the antics again. What did Bill Haney say while they were supposed to be promoting a fight with him and Regis? We want to fight Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios. Well, why y'all talking about them when y'all got a fight coming up soon with Regis? You see the antics. These are the antics that I'm talking about.
That's hurting the business of boxing, is what you're saying, because you're not getting nothing up out of it, is what you're saying, correct?
Yeah, it's no point of, you only saying it for attention, for yourself, because there's no really, what's the purpose? Your son is in training camp to fight Regis, and we all know he's about to fight Regis. There's no point of doing an interview talking about nobody else but Regis. And guess what? Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios is in their 30s. Once again, you trying to run that play with the fighting the guys in their 30s. People not going to keep paying for that no more. That's what I'm trying to say, you know?
They're trying to Jake Paul the situation. They're trying to Jake Paul the situation, fight somebody out their prime.
Yeah, because it's hard to build your brand like that. Double salute. 2 Cents Boxing, thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. 2 Cents Boxing says, she says, Bill got to do all that talking because they trying to plot and scheme into a big payday. If they fight another old fighter, I know for sure they are not serious. I would have to agree with you. In other words, is the fan base don't need to see Devin in there with these guys that's in their 30s on the backside of their career. Like, look, Keith Thurman coming off a long layoff. You don't want to get in there with these guys because you're not going to get the credit. This is what I told Devin Haney when he was in training camp for Lomachenko, and I can pull it up on my channel. I said, Devin, don't keep saying that Lomachenko is an old man. He over the hill. His skills have eroded him. Don't say that, because when you beat him, you're not going to get the credit. You're supposed to build him up. Build him up. So when you beat him, everybody can bring him back down. You see? And what I'm saying is, when you know the business, he's supposed to be hearing that from his dad. But that's not what happened. They keep putting down the fighters. At the press conference, don't put these guys down. Oh, man, Regis is a one-trick pony. He ain't got nothing for me. All he got is a left hook. But don't tell us that, because then if you say that, we ain't going to want to buy the fight. We're going to be like, oh, Devin going to beat him. We ain't buying that. No, you're supposed to build him up. Man, this guy got a whole lot of power. Let me tell you something, man. Man, I ain't saying act scared, but your whole purpose is to get the fan base to buy the ticket. So you got to build the fighters up. Let the media build them up. So what if you know the media lying and social media lying, saying the guy's better than you? So what? That's what we want to hear. Build them up. So when you beat him, you get the credit that you deserve. But he's not supposed to be hearing this from Manager Marty free on YouTube. He's supposed to be hearing it from Bill. You see? That's all I'm saying. This ain't no hating here. We just talking facts. You know what I mean? NHA2, what's going on with you, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing? Everything good, hopefully?
Good, my brother. Salute.
That's what's
We're not talking about Crawford tonight. That's why I let you on here, brother.
Oh, damn, I'm banned from all Crawford talk now?
No, you ain't banned. It's just, you know, even the NFL give 3 or 4 game suspensions. You know what I mean? It's all right, brother. It's all right. Hey, Brady had to take 4 games, brother.
Oh, man, trust me. I know, man. That's my team.
What, New England, the Patriots?
Yeah, because I'm from Boston.
Oh, I didn't know you was from Boston. Okay. All right,
Yes, sir.
cool. All right, so you hear everything that's being said right now with the whole Devin Haney controversy. I mean, what's your take on everything, brother?
Yeah, I've been tuned in for about a hour or so, and
Okay.
listening to some of your takes. But my opinion is I think they're doing pretty good, man. They seem to be, the trajectory seems to be pretty good. I mean, Dev is what 24, 25,
Mm-hmm.
already two division champ, unified,
Mm-hmm.
undisputed. Uh, already headlined two pay-per-views. I mean, the last one didn't do so good, but you got to admit, I mean, at 25 is not the it, he's kind of like above his peers when we're talking about Shakur. Even though I got Shakur beating him, that's my guy. But he's ahead of him on he's ahead of the curve on Shakur. Tszyu. Um, who else? Loma. So I mean, what is it that he could be doing better?
Well, I just
To,
told you, but I'd rather ask you since you said everything that they've been doing is have been doing good. Are you referring to the accomplishments
accomplishments is financially and what I'm saying is as far as legacy.
financially? What do you mean by that?
Like I said, he's 25 years old. He's already headlined two pay-per-view events. He's making. I mean, if we were to take Leonard Ellaby's word, probably the highest paid lightweight aside from Tank. And what else is there to say? I mean, I'm kind of like a little bit confused as to
Confused? All right.
what
Let me
what is it that they need to do more to? I mean, like I know you mentioned he should be out there in the forefront and speak more often, but
yeah.
Dev does talk when he needs. You know what I'm saying, when he's especially what I'm saying, when he's trying to promote a fight.
Yeah.
Like prior to the last fight, man, he was in on so many different podcasts. He made appearances here or there. So he does. He comes out in the forefront when he needs to. Now, does he
Mm.
need to be, take Bill's place as far as like, popping off the mount every day? I don't think that's him. I don't think it's necessary. And
Okay.
truth be speak,
Understood.
Tank didn't even need
Understood.
Tank. So because then the other thing too is like Tank don't need to speak, and he's a big superstar. Matter of fact, I used to cringe every time I heard him speak. He's gotten better at it, but he ain't it. My dog acting up.
I got you. All right. So let me give you an example, and I want to use some of what you said to give you an example of what I'm trying to say as far as the business of boxing. Double salute. Thank you for the super sticker, Robert Jones. Appreciate your support and contribution to the channel. Big Supreme, double salute to you. Thank you for your support and contributions to the channel. Big Supreme says at 23, Canelo fought Floyd and did 2.3 million pay-per-views. And Canelo is a superstar. Now, to your point about the belts, because you said he made history. He did make history, but every time he walked around with one of those belts, 3% of his purse had to go to the sanctioning body. Now, if you compare that to, let's say, an Errol Spence purse, Errol Spence, whether he likes it or not, he can afford to give 3% of his purse up compared to a Devin Haney because he makes probably 10 times more than a Devin Haney. But in Devin Haney's case, when he's only generating 1 million or 1.2 million or 1.5 million, 3% is a lot, especially when you have to include the fact that 30% on top of the 3% is taken away from your purse. And so what I'm saying is it's good to get those belts to make history, and all of that's great, but that comes at a cost. And on top of that, locking in on a 3-fight deal with the promoter, 30% of your purse each fight. Let's say three fights with Top Rank. Let's say he generated, I'm just using that as an example. Let's say he generated 1.5 million. So that's 1.5 million, but 30% got to go to Bob Arum in that situation. Second fight, he generates another 1.5 million. 30% of that got to go to Bob Arum, Top Rank. He fights a third fight. 30% of that got to go to Bob Arum. And in those three fights, he basically had captured belts in one of those fights. And then, of course, defended it in the second and defended it in the third. So now that's 12% since you got 4 belts that you have going into the Lomachenko fight, or at least 3 belts, 9 to 12% on top of the 30%. See, that's the business side that you boxing fans may not be aware of, and that's why it's my job to educate. So on the surface, yes, it looks like, hey, he's capturing the belts, he's making history, and that's cool. But we don't get in business to lose money. We get in business to invest money so we can make more money. And so all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with making history, but if you're not generating more than $1.5 million in purses, that 33%, it's going to hurt you. We're not including taxes. We're not including the trainer. We're not including the cut man or woman. We're not including the expenses. There's so many expenses involved in this thing. I'm just only going by just the promoter's fee and the sanctioning body's fee. That's 33% just right off the bat. And that's only with 1 title. But if you're flaunting 2 titles, that's 6%. 3 titles, 9%. 4 titles is 12%. On top of you being locked into a guaranteed contract with a promoter, you're losing money. That's not good business. Not if you're doing that 7 times. And when I say 7 times, let me be clear. Fighting with Eddie Hearn, a minimum of 3 fights over there. Now you might not have Devin may not have had a belt at first when he was over there, but the point that I'm trying to make is that he still had to give 30% to that to the promotion. Okay, so that's 3 fights right there with Eddie Hearn the first go around. 30, that's 30%, 30%, 30%. Then you're a free agent with your own promotion company. You're a free agent, your own entity. But instead of leveraging off of that, you basically stay on the same road and you go to another promoter, Top Rank and Bob Arum. Another 30%, 30%, 30%. Only this time you captured the world titles. So now you got to include the sanctioning fees on top of that. When you have the title, when you defend the title, and then you go into the Loma fight, which is the third and final fight off of the Top Rank promotion deal, you're still doing 30, 30, 30 plus the title fees for the sanctioning body. Now, once again, the deal is over. You are a free agent for the second time with your own promotional company. And what took place was Bill Haney went and scouted Regis Prograis at his last fight, when Regis Prograis is promoted by a promoter, Matchroom. So instead of leveraging the fact that you came off of having undisputed all the titles, now you go same road, you go to Eddie Hearn, you get it locked into a deal. I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3, but we're going to let people just say it's 1 fight. So we're going to stick with that, which I don't believe it is, but we're going to stick with 1 fight. It could be 1 fight deal. So now 30% of your purse, 30 goes to Matchroom. Now let's stop right there, because there's another thing that we have to include, and I said this earlier. You still didn't exceed 1.5 million. So at some point with 7 different fights that I just named, 3 over there with Eddie, 3 with Top Rank, and 1 with Eddie again. In 7 fights, you still have not exceeded $1.5 million in purses. But you keep losing money. When I look, me the business manager, me the boxing manager, me the financial coach, me, when I look at the ledger and we talking about financial statements, and I'm like, we losing money here. We got to change the business model. We losing too much money. We have an entity that provides us with the tax shelter and asset protection, but we're not generating the money. We're losing. That would be my observation if I was involved. So that's why I say it's good to chase the belts and make history. That's cool. But it's going to come with a cost. And I don't think the cost is going to be worth it after you leave and become a free agent. You look what Terrence Crawford did. He listened to manager Marty, whether he listened to this content or not. I don't know. I don't have evidence of that. I've heard he did. I don't have evidence of it, but I'm sure, like Shaheed said, the man heard something that I said because he did it. He went to go get representation. He signed a multi-fight deal with PBC, and this is what they did. They took Errol Spence and all of the determination that he had, used it against him, flipped him upside down, Pharaoh, and they shook his pockets out of him. That's good business. And the only reason Crawford had the leverage to do that is because he was a free agent. So that's what I'm applying to Devin Haney. You understand my point, NHA?
No, I do, but the only thing I'm gonna push back on is like you keep saying he hasn't made over 1.5 million.
Well, in his last fight, the paperwork already been out there.
That's his last fight, but according to several reports and even Bill Haney, they had made about somewhere close like 7 million versus Kambosos 2. When he fought Kambosos 2 and like
hey, guess what? Guess what? I can assure you that's not true. But let's use that. Let's use that. Cause see, that travels all the way down the same road that proves my point. You mean to tell me?
No. Before you say
no.
Okay,
Hold on.
It's not true.
NHA, hold on. I don't want, because the audience is following me right now, and I don't want to lose them. If you made $7 million through a guaranteed contract where we wasn't even in your hometown, we was in his hometown, you mean to tell me you made $7 million in somebody else's hometown? Then how much you made in Vegas when we was in your hometown fighting Lomachenko? Scratch that. Let's go back to your last fight. How you go from making $7 million in the second Kambosos fight when 2 fights later you only made 1.5 million? That makes no business sense. If you're gonna make, let's say you're gonna make $1 million in this fight, in the next fight or two, we need to see your purses increase. You don't go from $7 million fighting Kambosos in a rematch, and then in your last fight, 2 fights later, in your hometown of San Francisco, you only gonna make 1.5? That's not good business, NHA.
Not all purses are the same. Not all fights are the same.
Bruh, okay, let me put it in layman's terms for you then. Let's say you work for a company. We're gonna call a company NHA Productions. And NHA Productions told you as an employee, they're gonna pay you $25 an hour. And you say, all right, cool, right? Then you leave NHA Production making $25 an hour. NHA, I'm telling you right now, it would be asinine and foolish of you to leave NHA Production where you're making $25 an hour and go work at McDonald's making $12 an hour. You telling me that's good business, bro?
Well, that could be saying the same thing like that's like Tank.
No, I don't want to talk about Tank.
No, I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example.
We don't want to talk
It's
about
an example. I'm giving you an example.
Devin Haney, and does that make business sense? If you go from making $25 an hour to losing that job or leaving that job to making $12 an hour somewhere else, bro, that's not good business, bro.
I understand it, but there's certain different circumstances for different fight. Tank fights Ryo reportedly. Is he gonna make the same? If he doesn't make the same as he made against Ryan, are you gonna look at it like, and use that same analogy? That's like working a job for making $25 and then going backwards and making.
Yes, I am.
50?
Yes, I am. If he fights, let's say a Rolly and gets 7 million, and he fight Ryan Garcia and make 20 million, he's supposed to get that. It's Ryan Garcia. Mm-hmm. We talking about the dance partner here. It's Ryan Garcia. Yeah. He's supposed to get that. Now, if there's not a lot of competition in this division, meaning that there's another type of dance partner like a Ryan Garcia, I'm not expecting him to make 20. But guess what I'm expecting him to make? I'm expecting him to make more than 7 fighting a guy named Rolly. Because if he fought Rolly and made 7. Now, a lot of dance partners like Ryan Garcia don't come by too often in this business. So if you made 7 in a fight with Rolly, and then you go and fight Tszyu, you better make sure you're making 7.5 at least, 7.2 at least. Hell, 7.1 is better than 7 million. You're going to make more in your next fight than you did in your last fight. That's how the business works. You're not going to go and make 7 million fighting this person, and then 2 fights later in your hometown, you making 1.5 million. Because guess what? The thing about it is this. We don't see you nowhere else but on the West Coast. So I want to throw that in there too, since you brought that up. California and Vegas. That's the only time we've seen Devin Haney. So what I'm saying is we want him to be a superstar and take him over to other coasts. I can give you 2 venues from the other fighters that I mentioned. When I mentioned 4 fighters earlier, and you might not have been on here, but Pharaoh and Shaheed was here. I mentioned 4 fighters who are superstars, and I can name 2 venues apiece that all 4 of these fighters, these superstars, sell out. LA, Staples Center, Danny Garcia. Brooklyn, New York, Barclays Center, Danny Garcia. Errol Spence, Las Vegas. Errol Spence, Texas. You know he's gonna sell out AT&T. We already know that. Texas. Tank Davis, Barclays Center. He set the record now. He broke Danny Garcia's record. Vegas. I ain't even gonna bring up what he did in DC, but I'm just gonna use just those 2. Deontay Wilder, Vegas. Deontay Wilder's Barclays Center. Deontay Wilder, California. We can't say that about Devin. He's never been on the East Coast since he's been a star yet. So what I'm saying to you is you can't expect him to make more money if it's time for him to go elsewhere and make money in different venues. So that means something has to happen with the business model, Shaheed. We got to progress with the business model to make him a superstar. Because the 4 superstars I named, they done sold out 2 different arenas on 2 different coasts. Business model got to change. We don't need all of this. We need more of the footwork behind the scenes. Can't nobody dispute what I'm saying, NHA. They just really, I make too much sense when I talk about this issue. I just do.
More signing with the wrist and less lift. More signing with the wrist and less lift. You know, as far as Bill Haney goes, it goes back to what you just said. You proved that by giving the locations with, Danny Garcia and Earl Spence and Deontay Wilder. Those were made superstars. That fight sold itself because they were not just in one location, but they were in a couple of locations from Vegas to California to the East Coast Barclays Center. So you named various locations to where those other boxers were known.
That's right.
But Devin Haney's not. Even though he went over there to Austria and built, and fought George Kambosos, but that wasn't. Nobody really knows who he is.
And the reason why is because those 4 superstars have a connection with the fan base. And that's what I'm talking about when I say Bill step back and let the young man get in front of the cameras and shine. Because he has to develop a fan base to have a connection with him so that they can buy the ticket and follow him everywhere he goes. But it's limited if he's not in the public eye. And his dad is in the public eye more. It limits him from having that connection with the fan base like the superstars I just mentioned. You see?
Why are we dismissing the fact he's only 25 and he's accomplished more than all 4 of them?
But guess what? Because we're in the business to make money. He accomplished more than them. Hold on, let me give it to you. He accomplished more than those guys, and that's cool. But he had to lose money to do that. And
you don't know that.
Example. Okay, let's say he accomplished that by gaining 2 or 3 belts.
I'm not even just talking about the belts. I'm talking about financially.
Let's use that. Tank Davis don't need no belt. Deontay Wilder don't need no belt. Danny Garcia don't need no belt. And Errol Spence lost his, and he ain't gonna need no belt either. That's the difference. So the only accomplishments you're talking about is him gaining the titles and losing percentages of his purse when he's not generating more than 1.5. So what I'm
talking about pay-per-view.
What about pay-per-view? It don't mean nothing. The guys I just mentioned, I'm glad you brought that up because you wasn't here an hour ago. So that's why I'm gonna bring it all back again. Let's bring up pay-per-view. I'm glad you said that. Those guys, they all getting back in money. All four of those guys, because they not locked into a deal with a promoter exclusively. But Devin Haney ain't getting none of that back in money from pay-per-views. So what difference does it make if he do 50,000, 75,000, or 250,000? It don't make no difference.
Danny
You see
Garcia
my
getting
point?
back your money?
You better believe
What?
he is. What?
Okay, so I got a question. This is a serious
All
question.
four of those guys make 10 times more than Devin Haney, bro.
So but they all got to pay promoter too, right?
No, they don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I want That's why I want Bill and Devin to get on the phone and call the great Al Haymon.
So Tom Brown TGB is just promoting these fights for free.
Come on, bro. I didn't
I'm
say
not
he's
saying
promoting his fights for free. No, I'm not.
So what is the difference between paying TGB a certain percentage and then you still got to break off Al a certain percentage?
No. Who said that the fighters are paying TGB?
Who's paying? I mean, who? Okay, so if a promotional company is promoting a fight, who they getting the money from?
I hear a lot of feedback. I can't hear you. Say it again.
I said when a promotional company is promoting a fight, don't they got to recoup that money from whatever the fight was generated from the fight?
Well, everybody has to recoup, but you got to remember there's so many different ways that the promoters make money where they can limit their abilities to pay for their own. In other words, is they don't have to use all of their own resources. You have licensing fees, you have ancillary rights, you have sponsorships. There's so many different ways the promoter closed circuit. You know what I mean? There's so many ways that the promoter can generate revenue and build the capital so that they can, pay for the fighters and defray the cost. You ain't gonna hear this on nobody else's channel, so I'm glad you asked me that. And so the thing about it is, nobody works for free. What I'm talking about is that all of the fighters that we're talking about, they are managed by Al Haymon. I'm gonna give you an example so that you can understand clearly of what I'm talking about. Let me get this super chat. I'm gonna break it down to you. Big Supreme, thank you again. Double salute again for your contribution. Big Supreme says at 26, AJ did 2 million pay-per-view buys in his first 2 pay-per-views. That is, I believe that is correct. And we know that the UK has a huge boxing fan base. So I'm glad that AJ was able to do that. Now, let me break it down to you. When Al Haymon was doing business with Golden Boy Promotions and Mayweather was fighting on the cards as well, a lot of people thought that all of the fighters that were fighting on Golden Boy Promotions cards were directly signed to Golden Boy Promotions. But you saw how easy it was for when the deal was expired or Al and them didn't come to a final agreement, maybe when it was time for them to renegotiate. Guess what Al Haymon was able to do? All of the fighters that were signed to him as the manager, he was able to take them because they were really free agents. That's what I advocate for in my business model as a boxing manager, right? So what I'm saying to you is no different with TGB Promotions. It's the same concept. It's no different than what happened with Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya did not have Al Haymon's at that point. I think he had over 100 fighters signed. They did not have none of those fighters signed exclusively to their promotional company. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So with that being said, it's different when you got like Devin Haney signing a 3-fight exclusive promotional contract with Top Rank Promotions. That's extremely, totally different. But the thing is that's the same as the free agency part of it, which is the part that I'm advocating for Devin Haney. He was a free agent twice. And if he only did 1-fight deal with Eddie Hearn, from what we keep hearing, this is the 3rd time that he's a free agent. So if you're a free agent, you have more leverage in the business of boxing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you and the audience that's listening. Good question, though. Good question.
It makes sense too, because it makes a whole lot of sense. Remember when Spence went to ringside, and him being um the breadwinner of PBC. He went to a Canelo Alvarez fight, and they asked him about a fight with Bud, and he said no, or I could fight Canelo Alvarez. You know, and Spence ain't a talker that backs what you said. You know, he ain't much of a talker anyway, but he was business orientated enough to say, or I could fight Canelo Alvarez. He was at Canelo Alvarez's fight. I don't know if you remember that. He brought that. He was the first one to bring it up as far as fighting business orientated fight that brought forth the money. Spence said that himself. He said, "Oh, I could fight Canelo Alvarez." He was at his fight ringside. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which proves what you said, which comes full circle to what you said. You know, when an individual has made that money and they're known, the fight gonna sell itself. They don't really got to say much. They don't got to do all the talking like Bill Haney's doing. That's what he's doing. He knows that they're not known like that. But somebody like Spence and Danny Garcia and Deontay Wilder, as soon as you hear their name, you already know tickets is going through the roof.
That's cap.
But they had to build and develop, and that's what I'm talking about. They had to build and develop into that status. So
and Haney's only 25. Why y'all?
Bruh, but it don't make no difference how old you are if you keep locking it, if you keep being locked in to promotional contracts where you're not getting any back end money. All right, let me break it down to you another way. When fighters sign to a promoter, and I'm talking about exclusively to a promoter, right? When they sign exclusively to a promoter, they are basically saying, in essence, I am basically allowing you, the promoter, to help me move my career along with my manager if I have one. But also, even if I don't, move my career in a way that's going to take me to the path of gaining a world title. Because that's really when all of the team, especially the managers and the promoters, usually try the best that we can to recoup our initial investment. Okay. So we do all of this investing, put this fighter onto the path of becoming a world champion. That's the goal. Why? Because bigger purses are available, sponsorship money, etc. Right? Here's the thing that I have to tell you because I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it. So I'm going to put it in plain English so that you can understand why I'm saying what I'm saying when you say he's still young. He's on a path to becoming a world champion. Here's the problem when you lock yourself in as a fighter to a contract with a promoter. And I have fighters that watch me, and I hope they're listening to this because most fighters don't have representation and they don't understand the language in the contract. So Manager Marty's going to give you a free one today, like I always do. When a fighter is exclusively signed to a promoter, they are allowing the promoter to take full control of their career and their image. Why do I say their image? Because when the promoter goes, and I'm just going to use Showtime because they're not in business anymore. When the promoter goes to a network like a Showtime and say, hey, I have a fighter here named NHA. He's 12-0. He's going to be a world champion. He has good representation. And I'm part of his representation as his promoter. I have a contract with you. You have a contract with me. This is NHA. I want you to put him on, let's say, Showbox, the next generation. And then once he builds his resume up and his record, then we're going to have him fight on your broadcast and your network for, let's say, a world title on Showtime Championship Boxing. Guess what Showtime is going to do? Because I'm promoting you, NHA. The network is going to become what we call in the business the de facto promoter. What that means is the de facto promoter, which is the network, they're going to cut me a check on behalf of you rendering your service. And the check that they're giving me on behalf of you rendering your services is because I gave them what's called a licensing fee. What that means is I'm licensing your image and your services that you're going to render to this de facto promoter, the network. So after you compete on the network, The network do not have to pay you any residuals because they own the rights, the exclusive rights. So if you try to come back to them and say, I'm going to sue you because you're putting a fight that I had with Shaheed on ESPN, you putting that on your channel as a promoter on YouTube. No, you forfeited that right when you charge the licensing fee. It's no different than the music business. You want to be in the music business, right? Okay, I'm going to make you a star. We're going to sell CDs, tapes, this back in the day, but now it's streams. But guess what we're going to do now? We're going to make you the hottest thing smoking. You're going to sell millions of records and you're going to be famous. But here's what you're going to have to sell me in exchange. You're going to have to sell me your publishing. I'm going to pay you a fee, sort of like a licensing fee in boxing. I'm going to pay you the fee. I'm teaching somebody today, Pharaoh. I'm going to pay you a fee in exchange for your publishing so that when you hear your song 3 years later on the radio and at the concert and at IHOP in the restaurant, we don't have to pay you any residuals because you forfeited that in the beginning of the negotiations. So what I'm saying to you is, if Bill Haney knows what I'm talking about and he has his own promotional company, it's asinine for him or anybody else that have their own promotional company to go and sign with a promoter to give 30% of the purse to the promoter, all because the promoter has to deal with the network. No, you got your own promotional company. You can go directly and make an appeal to the network if you are generating revenue. Now, if you're not a big ticket seller and if you're not a big streamer where your fights are generating millions and millions of dollars based on the pay-per-view buys, then it might be feasible for you to go get a guaranteed check and forfeit 30% to the promoter that's got the network deal, because you don't have that power as a fighter. You don't have that appeal for people to basically buy at least a minimum of 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Do you understand my point, NHA?
Yeah, I understand your point, but don't
You
every
said that
fight,
three.
most fighters that want to that sign with a promotional company, they're going. They ain't no promotional company or the entity going to let you do a one-off
Excuse me?
unless you're special, right? Like what fight? Like Bud had to sign a 2-fight deal, basically. You know what I'm saying, with PBC. Great, he's a free agent. Haney, them three fights deal he signed with Top Rank. Yeah, it was for a purpose. That
What was the
Cambosa,
purpose?
because get that undisputed off Cambosa, because I was fooled right there. Yeah,
And guess
Bob's not
what?
going. Bob, I know
And
Bob
guess
is not
what?
going to let him do that.
I know that. I agree with you. But here's the problem that I keep trying to explain to you. 12% of his purse is going to have to go to the sanctioning bodies after he do that, and 30 of them is going to have to go to
Legacy.
Bob.
He's young. He's legacy. He's young, man.
No,
He's got plenty.
no,
He's got plenty to grow.
but that's cool. But that's why you got somebody in your corner. That's why you got somebody there, because you young, that knows the business of boxing. That's going to educate you and move you the right way. And
So
losing 40%,
you would advise him to not go for the undisputed.
bruh, losing 42% of your purse ain't worth it. If you're going to sit up there and
Then
sign again to another
man,
promoter.
I feel
Bruh,
bad for boxing,
listen,
man.
you're not
I
listening
feel
to
bad
me.
for boxing.
Listen to me, NHA. If we're going to go
Yes,
that
sir.
route to get all the belts, I'm going to use it as leverage to become a free agent after I secure the belts, because now when I go to the promoters as a manager, my fighter got all 4 belts and we ain't signing nobody. Y'all got to come to the table now. We're not signing directly to y'all, because what's going to happen is if we lose the belts, y'all going to get all the belts. Where we do that at? No, y'all got to come to the table now, because we got leverage as free agents. But if you don't have leverage and you don't understand the business, you're going to just sign on the dotted line because you just want a free handout. And that's what I'm trying to explain. You keep saying you understand me, but you said but 3 times. When I say, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but. Listen to what I'm telling you.
There's got to be a but in there, man, because
It don't have to be a but.
You keep saying he's doing something wrong, but when he's really not.
Bruh, you're supposed to say but to people that don't understand business. You saying but to me. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Look. The other YouTubers, especially the ones that hate on me, they talk about reactions. I talk about transactions. That's the difference between me and the haters. They talk about boxing reactions. You know, they do videos reacting to stuff. They reacting. I do videos talking about transacting. So what I'm telling you is the business of boxing is set up for somebody like a Devin Haney to be a superstar. You're supposed to break your bones in the business. And yeah, you got to pay how you weigh and lose money in the beginning. But once you get to a place where Devin Haney is, where 7 fights, he done signed with 2 different promoters. At some point now, we got to learn the business now. We're not losing 30, 40% every time we rumble. We're not losing it no more. Because here's the thing. You look at Danny Garcia. You look at Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, and Tank Davis. All the guys that I just mentioned, they don't need no belt no more. So when you keep talking this legacy, bro, they don't need it no more. They had to do what they had to do to get those belts. But they're at a point now, they don't need it no more. So that's all I'm saying.
Keyword, they had to do, just
The
like
business
Haney's
is
doing
designed
now.
for them, bro. The business is designed for them. And they're, listen, man, these guys that I'm talking about, they always in the amateurs. You know, let me tell you something, man. Listen, man, I boxed in the amateurs. I'm a USA boxing official. Do you know when you see these young kids fight and they win belts and trophies, they happy, bro. They are happy. And when they lose, they be boo-hoo crying. So what I'm telling you is the sport is like pee-wee football. They love when they get the belts and win. So that's why in the professional rankings, the fighters want the belts. But at some point, when you don't need it no more, you just don't need it no more. You seen what Floyd Mayweather said. He said, hold on for a minute. I'm paying this sanctioning fee and that. Whoa, my name bigger than the belts. I don't need them no more. And what I'm saying is Devin Haney has the potential for his name to be bigger than the belts that he's chasing. I'm saying everything right to give the man credit.
And I think he can get there. He's in the right trajectory. I mean,
but he got to have the right team. You can't do it. You gotta have the right team in this business, bro.
I think he does have the right team.
All right.
I mean, he's been able to work with 3 different promotional companies.
And
meanwhile,
lose money,
you got
and lose money.
I don't know that.
And ain't never.
I'm not counting.
Hold up. He was able to do all that and lose money in the process and never gain more than 1.5 million. And ain't never get no back in money, Shaheed. He ain't get no back in. I don't care if it was 30,000 pay-per-views. He's supposed to get a piece of whatever it is.
But that's not a factual statement. That's not a factual statement. He's actually losing money.
All right, no problem.
He's not seeing the business. What you would just explain. My 5-year-old daughter would have got that, because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And to go back to what you said, it's like,
all right. So Haney's broke. Haney been losing money past 3.
Haney can have more than what he got. What he just told you was that you're not seeing is that Haney can have more than what he got. He definitely won't get nothing with Bob Arum.
He can get more. You don't know what he made with Bob Arum. Nobody on here knows what he actually made.
Of course we do. He said the numbers just came out.
What numbers? Well, Bob Arum?
Yeah, the numbers
that was the one fight that supposedly the numbers came out. I'm not going either say those was whatever the evidence you posted is factual or not. But
you're not supposed to capture all the belts and not have leverage. That don't make no sense to me, bro.
So what are the belts for? I mean, so your thing is he shouldn't even bother going for the belts.
I never told you that, bro.
I'm sorry, but Haney didn't have the luxury that Tank did. Tank didn't need to talk. Tank, you know what I'm saying? Haney didn't have the biggest one of the biggest superstars in sports, period. Put him in his undercard.
Said that his dad do good business. So what do he need to compare himself to Tank for? There's no comparison. He already has somebody that know the business, right?
I just said that because you keep, you know what I'm saying? You saying one of the keys to be a superstar, he needs to start talking more and doing this. But I think what Bill's doing is actually, is genius marketing.
I don't.
Haney is the most talked about fighter.
How is it genius?
One of the most talked about fighter. It's because he's one of the most talked about fighter.
You're supposed to make. Listen, man. You're supposed to make more money in this business. You're supposed to make more money in this business.
That's not every fight is different.
No, it's not.
It's right. Okay, if Tank fights Rayo,
talking about
Venezuela right now.
you keep
Is he
talking
going to
about
make more money or less money than he made Ryan
bro, I'm
Garcia?
not
Because he's
talking
supposed to make
about
more.
NHA.
Yep.
I'm not talking about super fights. Don't listen, man. I'm trying to teach you something free of charge, and you're trying to go back and forth with me. I know this business. I'm trying to tell you. The thing is, you're talking about super fights. Ryan Garcia and the Tank Davis it's a super fight. I'm not talking about that. These guys are losing money, and it's not even a super fight. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
explain to you.
you keep saying they're losing money. How do you know that for a fact they're
Say no
losing money?
more. Okay. Listen, 3% of his purse got to go to the sanctioning body per belt. That's 12% of his purse going to the 4 sanctioning bodies with the 4 belts right there, bro.
Doesn't he have to defend the belts for him to pay those 3%?
That don't have nothing to do with what I just said. 3%
I'm just
of
saying,
his
but
purse has to go to the sanctioning bodies per belt. Why you think Spence said at the press conference, "Hey, what y'all do with the money if I gotta give y'all 9% of my purse?" What y'all remember? He said that in the press conference with Crawford. That's why he was talking
honest,
like that.
no, I asked you as an honest question because I'm on one answer. Now, in terms of the 3%, you got to pay the sanction fees. Do you have to defend the belts, or are you just getting charged off the rip, regardless?
If
You know
you
what I'm saying,
don't
just
fight
by
your
sitting on the belts.
okay, let me put it like this. What happens if you don't fight your mandatory? What happens?
You either get stripped or you gotta vacate.
Bingo. You see how simple that was? You just answered your own question.
Okay. So in essence, he ain't really paying 3%. I'm saying if he chose not to fight, which he didn't. He defended.
What's the point of getting the belt?
I mean, what is the point? What is the point of boxing if we're not fighting for a championship, for belts? I get it. There's a lot of sanctioned bodies.
Let me tell you.
But that's
listen. When we fight for world titles in this business, it's not so that we can feel good about ourselves. We fight for
leverage.
What we talking about?
I get that.
You proving my point. What we still talking about this for then, bro?
Why was Spence?
You just trying to go back and forth, bro.
No, I'm saying because you keep saying you keep saying that we fight for the belts for, for leverage.
Of course.
Yes.
That's where you get your big.
And why do you think he went for it? Yeah, he's trying to get leverage.
He ain't used it yet.
How should he have used it?
I'm not gonna give him no free game. I didn't give him enough free game. It's over with. He don't got all the belts no more. There's no point in me telling him now. He was supposed to use it this way. You don't go and fight. You don't go and get all the belts, pay all this money. Now you don't got the belts no more, right? Cool. But you go sign to a promoter where 30% of your income got to go to the promoter without the belts. There's no point in doing that.
You keep saying it's 30%. Every PBC fighter got to pay Al Heyman a certain percentage. Bro, you know what I'm saying? In fights, right?
You are a free agent with your own promotional company. It's very.
Are they really free if you're locked into one network?
Bruh, you are a free agent with your own promotional company.
How many of those promotional companies actually promoting fights?
Bro, you going all around the board with the hypothetical.
I'm just saying, man, because you keep saying
we're not giving.
I don't see that. I get it. You say his best bet is just sign with Al Heyman.
No, it ain't.
To put it in short.
We're gonna let him stay with his dad, like you said. He's a good businessman. But this is what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna move on. I'm gonna holler at you later. See, I had to start doing this now, Shahid. I can't keep, because I notice when I go back and forth with people, what it does is it hinders the live. And then it feels like, and it sounds like I'm arguing with people, and I'm not trying to argue with nobody. I think the people in the chat understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, Shahid. Fort Greene, Pharaoh understands what I'm saying. The boxers that's watching me understand. Even the haters understand what I'm saying. And they're going to chop everything what I'm saying. They're going to go on the channel, act like they put it all together. I know. But guess what? At least they were educated. The thing about it is this. It's a whole bunch of money that's been lost based on the moves that been made, Shahid. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. I don't get it.
It was very simple. He was trying to mix. I think, the brother come on there. Sometimes I think that he doesn't deal with the logic, especially when you explained it 3 different ways. You explained it to him 3 different ways with 4 different fighters to show and prove that those fighters were established in their bag, getting their money. How can you refute, especially with somebody who knows the business, who then gave advice to fighters who took your advice and went further with the advice that you gave, because we know they watched your channel, because after you have made that statement and went and got the bag. So how can he argue with you when he's not even in the business? I think he's just arguing for the sake of arguing. Because the business is right there with the examples. How can you overlook the examples that you gave with 4 different fighters, from Danny Garcia to Deontay Wilder, from Earl Spence and to Tank Davis? Like you said, they don't need no belts. They're household names making money they don't need no belts. They don't need to pay no sanctioning fees or no belt fees for what? They get in the bag regardless. So what do you need a belt for? He's trying to compare chasing a legacy over the business. He's not looking when Floyd Mayweather said boxing is a business first. But he wanted to make it as a legacy over business, and that's not how that works. What's the point of you even being a prize fighter if you ain't gonna make money? If you losing money, it makes no sense. Devin Haney might as well just go ahead and hang it up and retire at 25, if that's the case.
That's correct. Good point. Double salute to my guy, Edward V. Thank you for the cash app, man. Your support and contribution to the channel. I really appreciate it. Ironheart, that's why I had to let the guy off, because I don't want nobody see what happens is people start trying to distract the live. You know what I mean? Want to come and disrupt the flow of what's really going on, because the teaching is happening. The education is happening, especially when you talk about their favorite fighters. You know what I mean? It don't make a difference. We got to deal with what's real and just keep it all the way 100. My job is to educate the people. He want to go back and forth. Come on, bro. I got, man, I'm a leader. If I want to go back and forth, I can call a female up, bro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't got to go back and forth with no grown men, dog. Come on, Pharaoh. Come on, man.
Hey, that's chromosome stuff that I said he was on yesterday. He showed and proved that today. He was in this X chromosome. And that's not a diss to the brother. He just always do that, bro. You stuck in your X chromosome. Tap into your Y chromosome, into your man. We all got testicles on this panel, and get into your manhood of understanding. Because Y is the question that'll lead you to your answer. So instead of being man enough to ask you, hey, can you school me on that, Manager Marty? Because I really don't know the business. Me and Pharaoh on here, we sitting there listening. We know the examples that you're giving is factual, but he want to sit back and argue, like you said, disrupt the live. When you giving multiple examples, you wasted really like 20 minutes on dude just for the sake of arguing because he's stuck in his X chromosome.
Right.
It's about humility.
Yes, sir. Now, speaking of humility and moving on, let's talk about Crawford. Everybody's talking about him. Well, I think somebody said that somebody did a interview from Crawford's team. That's what my man Detail Boxing told me, because I didn't see it or nothing, but he told me that they talking about Crawford fighting Tszyu at 154, because we don't know if the Spence fight's gonna happen right now because of the surgery on his eye and everything. I mean, what that fight look like with y'all? Do you think he should stay at 140? I'm talking about Crawford. Do you think he should stay at 147? Go ahead and fight the young guy Boots, or go up to 154 and fight Tszyu? What's y'all take on that?
Me personally, if you could go to 154 with Zoo, why you can't see EJ at 154? What's the problem? But Manager Marty, real quick, it's about that time. I'm gonna go stuff my face, and I'll be in the chat. But again, as always, it was a pleasure getting to chop it up and cook with you and Brother Shaheed. Salute, King. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
I appreciate you always coming through, Pharaoh. Appreciate you, my brother.
Salute, family.
That's my guy, man. Pharaoh, man. That's my man. Yeah, so all right, Shaheed. Crawford, 147. He can stay there because he keeps saying he want to fight Spence at 47. I guess he don't want to fight Boots. But if he go up to 54, I don't know if he want to fight Spence at 54, but they saying he might fight Tszyu. I mean, what's your take on all that?
I'm gonna be honest. I think that that Crawford is really trying to dodge Boots. Last time I checked, Boots was his mandatory. He's the #1 contender at 147, and I'm thinking that he really trying to dodge, Jerron Boots in this, because he knows that level fighter. They say that he's a little wet behind the ears, he's green and whatnot. If that's the case, fight him. Fight him. Don't say that you'll fight Spence after the fight 154. That you'll fight him after you beat Spence. You said you will fight him at 154. You said it was hard for you to make weight at 154. Then you keep switching the goalpost, saying that I'm gonna have it at 147. That's what Bomac said. So I look at it this way: if you're going to go fight Tszyu at 154, then you can fight Spence at 154. But the factor is that we know that you're really trying to dodge Jerron Boots Ennis. Fight your mandatory, right? Then go up and fight at 154. He has nothing to lose and everything in the game because everybody wants to see that fight. They've been calling for that Jerron Boots Ennis fight for the longest. You know, that's a high, you know what I'm saying, frequency fight that I think that Jerron Boots Ennis, I really think that he outpoints Crawford. That's just my honest outlook on that. It'll be tough for Jerron Boots Ennis, but I think that Crawford has met his match at 147. So instead of fighting at 147, he's going up to 154, fight Tszyu, then maybe fight Spence. And, you know, if he's victorious in both those fights, I think those two fights that he's talking about, you know, retiring out of, I think that he's looking for the easiest way out with the highest payday. But I think that the highest payday right now at 147 is between him and Jerron Boots Ennis, in which I think that he loses. He don't want to take that chance to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, and as a boxing manager, I wouldn't blame you.
But why you say that?
Because this, I mean, you going to fight this young guy who's 10 years younger than you. If you're going to stay here at 47, you're going to have to fight him. So I suggest you just go ahead and vacate the titles. Let the young man take over the division. You move up to 54, and you give Spence that check now. Because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have got yours. So go on and do the right thing and go on to 54 and go on and fight Spence. I mean, that's what I say. What's going on, Motorsport?
So salute, man, Marty. What's going on, my brother?
Salute, my brother. How you?
I'm all right. What's going on?
I'm good, bro. I know you're a Crawford fan. We on Crawford now. He's talking about, well, at least this is what we're hearing, that if he stay at 47, he wants Spence at 47. But if he go to 54, he wants to fight Tszyu. What's your take on all that? Because basically, if he don't stay at 47 and he fight at 54, I say go ahead and fight Spence at 54. Give him that rematch at 54. But if you stay at 47, go ahead and fight Boots.
I mean, that would be good if there was a belt on the line for Spence and Crawford at 154. And I think that's the biggest holdup why Bud don't want to go to 54 and fight Errol Spence. Because like, if I go fight Errol Spence at 154, there's no titles on the line. I just went to 154. But if I fight Errol Spence at 147, that's a title fight. And if I fight Tszyu at 154, that's my fourth division. I'm coming into my title fight. So that's why I think is the main reason as to why Bud want to fight Errol Spence at 147, because there's no titles to be fought for at 154.
Well, I have a business issue with that. My business issue is the same thing I said about Devin Haney applies to him. You're going to fight at 47 to fight Spence, and 3% of your purse is going to have to go up for all three of the belts that you got. That's 9% of your purse when you're going to be fighting Spence. That, to me, that makes absolutely no sense. The best way to do to save money and make money in this business, you vacate the titles, because if you ain't going to fight Boots, I mean, there ain't no point of you, because here's the thing. I heard you say, Crawford, you can't make the weight either. So if you can't make the weight, what we talking about 47 for? Trying to bring Spence back down here.
Because there's no titles at 147. Is Bud don't want to stay at 147. He said it at the press conference, like, yeah, I haven't trouble making 147. So I guarantee Bud don't want to stay at 147. And I feel like the only reason why he's gonna fight at 147 is to fight Errol Spence, because the title reasons. Now I feel like if Errol Spence just had a eye surgery, so instead of holding Bud up and not letting him fight, I think Errol Spence should let Bud go to 154, fight Tszyu for the WBO strap. So now when Bud fights Errol, it's for the strap at 154 instead of it being a non-title fight. And Bud just moved up.
Yeah, but if you can't make the weight no more at 147 pounds, why struggle to make weight and got to give up 9% of your purse when you could just go up and fight Spence at 154 and keep it pushing?
Well, I don't know all of it, but I'm just saying the titles sound like the best thing I could think of because there's for if Errol Spence fights Terrence Crawford at 154 right now, there's no title shot. There's no titles on the line. And possibly he can get stripped for his titles at 147. Opposed to if he fight Errol Spence at 147, it's for the title. He coming out as champion. You know, all that good stuff business wise, you get paid as a champion also. You fighting for no belts, you're not getting that championship pay. It's just different, bro.
I
That's
don't
just my
understand.
opinion, though. I don't believe it. I mean, it's just what I see. I'm not saying it's not total fact. It's just what I see. I'm just saying, like, it's no reason for Bud not to want to fight this man at 154. He's not scared of him. He's not worried about his skills. It's nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like he already beat this
Who?
man.
He not scared of who?
Errol Spence.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's scared of him. We know he's more confident than he was in the first fight.
Yeah,
Before the first fight.
that's why I'm coming to the conclusion I'm coming to because it's like it's no other reason as to why you wouldn't want to fight this man at 154 unless you worried about the titles. If you focus on the titles and it being a title fight or a non-title fight, then I could understand it. But any other reason, I don't know. I can't pinpoint that reason as to why you wouldn't want to fight the man at 154 unless it's for the titles.
So you would rather him fight Tszyu at 54 or Spence?
I'd rather him in the beginning right now. I mean, if they were to put Errol Spence and Bud fight for the vacant IBF or whatever, any one of them other titles, then I'd rather him fight Errol Spence. But if there's no titles on the line at 154, I'd rather him fight Tszyu and have a title fight.
All right.
How about Spence? How about Spence fight the winner between Tszyu and Bud? There go your title on the line right there. You know,
Nah,
Spence
I'm
is
with
out.
that right there. Like I was saying, I'm with it. Errol just had surgery, so Errol just sit back, let Bud go fight Tszyu for that WBO strap. So now when you come back from you being good and you 100%, like your fans, for your fans, you could be 100% for your fans, and then they get the fight right there, and it's for the title. That right there, I'm all with it, but I just don't feel like Bud is having a problem with going to 154 and fighting Errol because there's no titles on the line. That's the only reason why I feel like he don't want to go to 54.
So you're saying it makes more business sense for Bud to go fight Tszyu at 154 now that Spence is out with the eye surgery. It would be more business savvy for Bud to go fight for that title. And Spence, when he comes back from his injuries, he can fight the title. He can fight the winner for that title. Is that what you're saying? That makes more business.
What I'm saying. It makes more business for Errol Spence too because he's coming off his injury. He's going to a title fight. He's not going to just a rematch fight. He's going into a title fight and it's going to be brought like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just in my opinion, like I done looked through it trying to figure out why he keeps saying 47 for Spence 47, but he's saying he gonna fight this guy at 54. He want to go fight Canelo, and that is the only thing because if they fight at 54, there's no titles. It's just a fight. You get what I'm saying? And Bud has been fighting for titles. It's like last 18 fights straight or something. He got a crazy record of straight title fights. So I don't think he want to break that. I think that's one of his main reasons as to why he want to stay at 47 to fight Errol Spence.
I got you.
I don't believe he's scared of boots, Marty. I don't believe he's scared of boots, brother.
I never said that. Listen. I ain't say that, but I am going to say this. See, long as he got this right here, look at your screen. Look at your screen, Motor. You see that right there, brother? Yeah, long as he got that. Yes, my brother. Oh, yes. Yes, my brother. Long as he got that right there. Hey, ain't nobody to be scared. It's like having 30 guys with you when you standing on somebody's block. Come outside and fight me when you got this right there on your screen. Oh, yes.
I stay with the snack products in my bag, so I ain't got no comments about that, brother.
I had a question for you. Because I forgot. You was one of the guys. You was one of the first guys that told me you bought the snack. Right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Before you brought the products online, because you got it online, right? Or did you go to a store?
Yeah. No, I went online.
Did you have to give them your medical history or a sample of your blood? Don't laugh. I'm asking a real question. So your blood and all that. I'm asking, bro.
No, I ain't have to do none of that, brother.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking. Because somebody, I think it was Greg. No, it wasn't Greg. It was somebody asked me through a super chat to ask Victor Conti when he was here in the interview. Do the fighters under Snack take the same supplements that you can buy online? He said, yeah. He did also say though, he send them other supplements that's not Snack. But my thing is, everybody that come in contact with him, he always got to get that comprehensive blood testing before he get his supplements. But I figured since you using the same product as a fighter, y'all didn't have to give no blood or no urine or no medical history. You see what I'm saying? That I'm confused. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, I don't listen. Until if he comes out and they say somebody done tested positive or Terrence Crawford tested positive for some type of performance enhancement that's not allowed, then I would shun him. Like I'm a Terrence Crawford fan, but if he's caught cheating, then I'm gonna you feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it. Like I ain't gonna and I'm gonna take everything away from him. Like I'm a super John Jones fan, right? But I would not give him GOAT status of UFC only because he got caught cheating before. So I take that really serious. And the same thing go for Canelo. Like I would never give you pound for pound status because you got caught cheating before. So if you get caught cheating, I don't care what it is. Like I don't give a damn if Victor Conti was clean for 50 years. If you get caught cheating, my brother, I'm gonna tax you to that, and I'm gonna hold you to that because this is a combat sport, and anybody can get killed and all that. So if you're caught cheating, then I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna talk about it. But until you caught, I don't got nothing to say, and I know he had a bad history, and I know that he haven't got caught. He haven't got caught nothing leaked back to him in the last 20 years. So until we get some bad stuff from him, I'm gonna be taking the snack products too.
I feel you. I want to say two things. I got you. I want to say two things to you. I never said the snack products work because I never really took them. You did. I say the snack program.
Wait. You exactly that's what I'm about to say because you the reason why I done ordered the snack program because you was on here talking about the snack program works every day.
It does.
So like, hold up.
But you didn't have to get at no, listen. You said you didn't have to get no blood in the comprehensive test, brother. So you're not on the program. And he's not shipping you no other certain things. I don't know what they are, but you're not on the program, brother. You're just on the products. You see what I'm saying?
I'm on the product.
And number two, people keep saying Bud didn't test positive. You wasn't here yesterday, and I said this, or was it the day before yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. People keep saying Bud didn't test positive. Bud didn't test, period. I keep talking about positive, period. Keep talking about some positive.
Marty,
period, bro.
Oh, man. I hear you. Listen, I'm rocking with you, Marty. I'm rocking with you.
I know you are.
This is professional boxing. These guys is getting paid millions of dollars, brother. If you're not gonna tell me these guys are going into fights with no testing. Now the level of testing and the type of levels that's something that I don't know about. But I know for 1,000% fact that these fighters are getting tested before they go in.
Right, but according to
and everything.
But according to Vada, and you was here 3 or 4 months ago, and you was here, and you know where I'm going with this. You was on the panel when I proved this. In 2020 was the last time Vada said that Bud Crawford enrolled in their testing protocol. We haven't seen nothing for 2021 when he fought Sean Porter. We haven't seen nothing on Vada's website. He's got the Boost Mobile issue. He's a Terrence Crawford fan, y'all. Don't worry about it. He'll be back. In 2022, when he fought David Ebenezer, we haven't seen anything yet. These were 2 fights where he was under the snack program, and we haven't seen Vada yet say he's enrolled or welcome him into the website where he was tested. Lucky McKinnon, are you still there, my brother?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
All right, real quick. What's your take on Terrence Crawford fighting at 147? He said he's only want to fight Spence at 147. If he does go to 54, he wants Tszyu. What's your take on all that?
All right, so I don't know if that's what he came up with. That could be something that Spence came up with as far as 147. Because let's just say If a guy outside fights you and take your chain, I don't want to just fight him for my pride. I want my chain back. So I think, Earl might just really want them belts back. And as far as Tszyu, that'll be a cool fight, but no, that'll be a good fight for his money in a way because he got a lot of people that's backing him. But I still would rather see him fight Jamel or either Keith Thurman.
Wait. Who? Boots?
No, Terrence. I would rather see him fight Jamel or see him fight Keith Thurman.
At 47? Because Keith Thurman won
No, 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 no,
47.
no, 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 no. It don't matter. It don't matter the weight for us them two. It don't matter the weight. I'd rather for him to fight them two.
Not Boots.
Either way.
Not Boots?
Nope. It's not. The money is not there. The money is not there. It's not that Boots is not a bad fighter. I mean, it's not that Boots is not a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a great fighter. He's gonna be a superstar. But right now, the money is not there. From what I see.
I agree with you compared to them other guys, but I'm just saying if you're going to fight at 47, you got to just fight Boots, dog. I mean, you just got to fight. There's no point in fighting Spence at 47. And if you're going to go up to 54, forget Tszyu. Honor your rematch agreement. Hey, if somebody say, well, come on, man, Jamarty, it's going to take them like 3 or 4 months to fight. So what? You know how long Spence had to wait for him when he was playing these games and then had to go over to BLK Prime and all that? So, yeah, you could wait that thing out, man. Get that man Spence that respect. Go on, rematch him in 54. That's what I say.
He owes Spence anything pretty much Spence wants, to be honest, because Spence gave him everything he wanted. So that should be a no-brainer for real. I mean, if he's really a good person, he would do that.
Facts. Now, real quick, and I'll get y'all take on this before we go. Anthony Joshua. They're saying that he's possibly going to fight in Ngannou. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Ngannou up in Saudi Arabia because he was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder because they thought Deontay Wilder was going to win against Parker. They was going to have a big money fight back in the same town of Riyadh up in there, Saudi Arabia. But now they talking about Ngannou fighting Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia. I mean, to me personally, I think he did a great job. His first professional boxing match in there with Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champ of the world, and dropped him too, and was looking real impressive to me. And he's older in age. He's in his 30s and stuff. You know what I mean? So, I think he's going to be competitive in that fight against Anthony Joshua. If they do fight, this will be his second fight where he can get a big payday. This guy Ngannou, man. I'll start with you first, Shahid. What's your take on Anthony Joshua fighting him?
I think it's a good business move with the Saudis because the Saudis is letting you know that they, breaking the market in the boxing. And I think that the figure that I read about that Ngannou was getting, Francis was getting maybe 20 mil, and Anthony Joshua was supposed to be getting 30 mil. So I think it's a good business move. I think that Anthony Joshua better be careful because that brother, Francis hit hard. You seen what he did to Tyson Fury. And like I said, I think it's good for boxing. And I think it's a setup between the fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk for next month. I think the winner of that should fight the winner of Tyson Fury and Usyk. I think the winner who fights between AJ and Francis fights the winner of Usyk and Fury. So I think it's good for boxing. I like boxing how it's starting off this year, and I think it's good business going on there in Saudi Arabia because their market is like better over there than it is over here, and that's where Devin Haney. They talk about Devin Haney need to go over there and fight Tank over there in Saudi Arabia. So if it makes dollars, it makes sense. Similar to what you said, bro. It's all about that boxing business, and if it's making dollars, it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Lucky, what's your take on that, John? AJ against the guy in Ngannou.
Well, I can tell you for sure somebody ain't getting up. That's for sure. Somebody ain't getting up. But at the same time, Francis, he did what he did against Tyson. But at the same time, I don't know. Joshua gonna be throwing some blows. He gonna be throwing some blows. So one of them guys going down, and one of them guys ain't getting up. But it's a good move for Francis. But I feel like it's also it's embarrassing to boxing in a way. Like you got these YouTubers and these UFC fighters that can come over and just fight champions and get big ratings. But then you got these other guys in boxing that just can't get the numbers up, and it's just kind of embarrassing. But I mean, salute to Francis.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. We got my homegirl here, member of the channel, 2 Cents Boxing. What up, 2 Cents?
What's going on, chat? What's going on, panel? I just wanted to come up here and get my 2 cents real quick about the Francis Ngannou thing. I actually don't necessarily agree with it because of the simple fact. Okay, let me start with this. You had Mayweather, right? He fought Conor McGregor. It was his last fight. He wasn't a champion. He didn't have no belt, and he was on his way out the door. And in my opinion, that was him testing out what he could do with exhibitions, maybe. But I kind of give that a pass because he was on his way out. It was his last fight. Conor McGregor was a big UFC fighter. He had a big name. He had a big following and all of that, right? So then you have Francis Ngannou. If you ask me, my 2 cents, I really think that it's a slap in the face to all the other boxers that have been doing this and pursued a career out of this and been doing this their whole life. For Francis Ngannou's first fight to be with Tyson Fury, who is a champion in the sport, and on top of that, to make tens of millions of dollars when you got other boxers out there, Jared Anderson, Big Bang Bang, and all these boxers that have been doing this and trying to earn a spot in order to get these big fights. And then to even slap him in the face with the other hand, you rank him in the top 10. I believe they ranked him in the WBC. And then you say, Eddie Hearn says, oh, well, Wilder's not going to fight Joshua anymore because it's a mismatch. But then you're going to make the Ngannou fight as if that's not a mismatch. And then you're going to say he's about to make $20 million when this is his second professional fight. And let's be honest, the only reason why Ngannou looked even remotely competitive, in my opinion, in the Fury fight was because Fury obviously thought the same thing we was thinking. Didn't take him serious, didn't train, was out of shape, and all of these other things. So I know a lot of people, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the Saudi Arabia and boxing thing. And this is saving boxing and got its picture everywhere when PBC just put on a bunch of big fights last year. They had the Ryan Garcia fight that did a million something pay-per-view buys. They had the Canelo and Charlo fight did with 500 something pay-per-view buys. They had the Spence Terrence Crawford fight that did between 650 and 750,000 pay-per-view buys, completely overlooking what PBC has done within the sport of boxing. So I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's cool that I could see if Ngannou, let's say Ngannou did fight a Wilder, I would be like, okay, that's all right, that's cool. Wilder got his foot out the door, he about to leave. A fight like that would make a little more sense versus him fighting Anthony Joshua, who's the ex-champion, versus him fighting Tyson Fury, who's a current champion. And I don't think it's cool. I think more boxing fans should be a little bit more outraged about this, and I think more boxers should have more to say about this. I understand you getting a bag or whatever, but to me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Hey, Manager Marty, can I jump in on that?
Oh, absolutely. Come on with it. Yes, sir.
All right, so I think it's really, it's not a knock against Mayweather. It's not a knock against Mayweather. But it's ever since he got that money, things have changed. And I really feel like when I first started watching boxing years and years ago, I really feel like the HBO days was a lot better because it was just like a lot more fights. It was a lot more fights, more consistent fights. It was almost like every weekend in a way. But you don't have that no more. And that's kind of like kind of like PBC fault because they want their fighters to get the money. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with fighters getting their money. I don't knock the hustle, but it's not consistent enough. And when it's not consistent enough, then you make room for these other guys, YouTubers and UFC fighters, to jump in and get their money and get the numbers up because they not consistent enough. That's the only reason why I feel like they able to do this, because they're not being consistent enough.
And then on top of that, you got the guy saying, the Prince of Turkey or whatever the guy's name is, oh, well, I want real boxing matches. I don't want to put in no YouTube fights. But you got Francis Ngannou fighting Anthony Joshua. So to me, it's not a win nowhere. If Anthony Joshua wins, it's like, okay, duh. And if Ngannou wins, it's like, what the hell, Joshua? So I don't see the excitement or anything around this fight. Like, if you see the last fight, when Tyson Fury finally stopped BS and he just was able to keep Ngannou away and win the fight off of a jab because Ngannou couldn't figure out how to get around Tyson Fury jab. So it's just that's a lot of money to give somebody for a second fight, because what happens after he loses to Joshua? What happens after that? And you're telling me Ngannou deserved a fight with Joshua over Wilder because Wilder lost to Parker? Does Anthony Joshua not have losses too? Has this not been an anticipated fight that people have been waiting to see? And in my opinion, I don't think they even had any intention on fighting Wilder, whether he won or lost. If you ask me, I feel like they just used his name to put on the card to sell the fight for marketing. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. But I just, if I were in the heavyweight division, I would be really upset about this. And I see people in the chat saying, oh, well, he earned it, he did good in the UFC. Well, then let him go to the UFC and make that kind of money where he earned it at. He didn't earn it in boxing. And it's cool if you want to come to boxing and fight, but to come to fight the quote-unquote one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time, some may say he's better than Muhammad Ali, which is BS, but you hear people talking their rhetoric. Why does he get that opportunity? Even when the fight was announced, I'm like, how does he get this opportunity? Who is this guy? It'll be different if he worked his way up. And then the audacity to rank him after that fight is just crazy to me. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it in this manner or coming at it from this perspective. So it just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, it is what it is. And people saying Saudi Arabia is saving boxing, and I just want to know how. Nobody is telling me how they're saving boxing. And I want to know if people are going to have an issue with them quote unquote overpaying fighters like they did with Al Heyman. When Al Heyman was paying fighters a lot of money, it was a big deal. They wanted to sue him and take him to court and do all this extra stuff. But now Saudi Arabia is doing it, and it's great for boxing. Make it make sense.
Hey, 2 cents. I'm gonna say something. All right, so look, I had told you not too long ago that I felt like HBO was the better days. Now, in a way, I gotta go against that because Al Heyman and Saudi Arabia, they're putting fighters in a position where they don't have to work after that fight. The HBO days, a lot of them fighters, they had to go to work after them fights. So, it's kind of different. So Al Heyman and Saudi Arabia, they is looking out. So you can't knock it because these fighters, they get the amount of money where they don't have to work no more. And that's a good thing.
All right. Ironheart, salute to you. Thank you.
Well, I think it depends on who you are, because just like with this whole Devin Haney Tank thing, and you want to take Tank out of his market where he's worked to build his name, and he's able to generate that kind of money because here in America because of the work that he's put in, and now you want to snatch him and take him somewhere to fight against a fighter to pay them amounts that they haven't necessarily built their name for or worked for, to pay them that kind of money. So I guess it's maybe a catch-22, or it's pros and cons to it, but it just depends on what perspective you're looking at it from.
We still talking about the Ngannou fighting Tyson Fury?
No, we were talking about Ngannou possibly fighting Anthony Joshua.
Joshua, got you, brother.
What's your take on it, brother? Speak on it. You got the floor.
Man, honestly, I feel I got mixed emotions. See, so I got background in in the boxing scene as well as the MMA scene, and I feel like with Ngannou and being in this situation, I really like it as opposed to it being another MMA fighter because it seemed like MMA be really struggling to try to push this boxing versus MMA narrative. When in reality, if you want to be a successful mixed martial artist, you got to learn how to box, and all of the best champions, all of the longest reigning champions in MMA are generally or have strong boxing backgrounds and repertoires. So I like the fact that it's Ngannou as opposed to Conor McGregor, because with Conor McGregor and with the Ronda Rousey shit that they was trying to push, it was more like they were really trying to sell us a personality. And they were really trying to push the rivalry. It was like a lot of propaganda. I think Ngannou has a lot of respect for boxing. So while I would normally be opposed to an MMA guy getting this much shine on this high of a boxing platform, I think that with the negotiation problems that he was having with Dana White, it's like a slap in Dana White's face. And Dana White has been stifling the careers of a lot of these fighters for a long time, and still trying to piggyback off of the success of boxing, trying to compete with the boxing platforms while not having no respect for boxing whatsoever. And I just feel like that's disrespectful to martial arts as a whole. I don't know what it is with MMA, but I just feel like they really look at boxing as though it's as though it's croquet or some other shit, pardon my language, as though it's something other than fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good look for Francis, and it could be a good look for combat sports as long as he doesn't develop the MMA attitude of, we're doing something better than what boxers do. That's my take on it.
Okay, got you. Well, my take on it is, like, me personally, I think that it's just a money grab because obviously Ngannou can sell tickets, apparently,
Right.
right? They wouldn't have him, even transitioning over from MMA. It's just a money grab, just no different from Jake Paul and the Paul brothers. I don't know which one is which, but I think y'all know the one who's taking boxing more seriously. He's the one that fought Floyd Mayweather, right? Jake Paul. I get those two guys mixed up. Him, Conor McGregor, all these guys are ticket sellers. So what they're trying to do is cross market into boxing. And the thing about it is, like Tszyu said, what happens next? Okay, if they lose, they just go, oh, it's Logan. Oh, Cash, thank you, Cash. Logan Paul. If Ngannou loses again, let's say he loses to Joshua, well, he just got a payday and that's it. But if he win, is he really going to be a legitimate contender? They're going to really make him a legitimate contender for the world title contention when you got guys who've been here putting that work in, trying the best that they can, to get in line to fight for a world title. But then again, it's all about money. It's all about ticket sales, and that's business. So, I mean, I like the fact that he is trying something new. He's cross-marketing. He's coming in at a later time in his age to get the bag. But at the same time, I don't want other fighters, legitimate boxers, to be slighted, all because somebody know how to sell tickets. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we was really supposed to see Anthony Joshua and Fury. Now we're about to see Fury versus Usyk. So that's what we heard. That's what we hearing. We hearing Usyk and Fury. So now, if Joshua beats this guy Ngannou, and let's say Usyk beat Fury, don't nobody want to see no third fight with Joshua and Usyk. I mean, I don't. He beat him twice already. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a money grab for what I see so far.
Well, but just a little pushback on that, Marty. What tickets did he sell? From my understanding, the pay-per-view buy from Fury and Ngannou did 50, 60, 70,000.
Well, I'm just saying he sold enough. I don't know how many tickets he sold for the Fury fight. I'm saying he sells enough tickets to be able to get the opportunity to cross market himself into boxing. But
Okay,
then
because I'm not
again,
sure how big he is
oh
in the UFC
yeah,
because
yeah, I'm not sure.
he,
Yeah,
even with the Jake Paul and the Logan Paul, they still had a huge following that they worked to build up somewhere else. So I never even heard of the Ngannou guy. I'm not a big UFC person, but I had heard of Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? So,
maybe it's
he,
not the ticket sales. Maybe it's not that. Maybe Saudi Arabia just want to plant their feet in boxing because they just, man, they just throwing a lot of money. They throwing a lot of money at everybody right now. They just like they probably just because I know that they do want to globalize sports out there in Saudi Arabia. That's why they did a big deal with the WWE and Vince McMahon and them guys. I think they're trying to just globalize sports, but they just throwing money away. I guess not away, but they
Man,
playing with the house money.
I'm about to go over there and see if I can put on a fight. Take the money they giving out. I take me 100,000.
and everybody wanted to say the best fight, the best. This is not the best fight and the best, y'all. This is the complete opposite of that.
Well,
Hey, can I chime in?
who's next in line?
Next in line for what?
If you don't think that he's next in line, who's next in line besides Deontay Wilder?
I mean, I feel like it's plenty of other heavyweights that Joshua could fight than Francis Ngannou. Who's ranked? Who's on the list? Like it's other fighters that in my opinion have earned. He only has one fight, so how is he even in line? Is the question.
Can I chime in with a hypothetical?
Go ahead.
So let's say Ngannou wins, right? And somehow now his stock rises, like, because what was going on was that he was trying to do some boxing. He was trying to do some things in boxing. Anderson Silva has also tried to do some things in boxing. Roy Jones had respect for Anderson Silva. Dana White has stopped a lot of MMA guys from crossing over and having making some noise in the boxing arena when they actually had respect. But when Conor McGregor took on that Floyd Mayweather personality, that's when it became that's when it became the money grab situation that it's turned into. Now, since Ngannou has now priced itself out of Dana White's reach financially, because Dana White was trying not to pay him basically what he just got facing Joshua. Do y'all not see the possibility of perhaps this could be a real super event of 4 headline MMA guys versus 4 of the headline top tier boxers in a cross promotion, basically a boxing event, because MMA guys do box at the end of the day, so if they wanted to really make it to where both industries could make some good money and this could actually make sense, I say get 4 guys from over there versus 4 guys from over here. And this could kind of be like the combat sports Olympics type thing, just that's my mind. I think that it could go somewhere and make sense financially without it being too much of a disrespect on either side of the sports. Or maybe I'm reaching. Or what do y'all think about
No.
that?
Hey, you making a good point, but I'd rather see that over here than over there.
Oh, I'd rather
Like,
see it in boxing for sure. I'd rather see it in boxing for sure. But
no. I'm saying like over in the U.S. I'd rather
right,
see it in the U.S. Like, I feel like it would be more fair to us to have that.
for sure.
If they're gonna have like some type of Olympic type of thing like that, yeah, for sure, that would be nice. But that'll be good for us. I think it would be better for us though. But Saudi Arabia got that money though.
Yeah, I just think it'd be better if it wasn't UFC based, because UFC has been, they got these little Nazi-like terms in their contracts and stuff that don't really give the fighters a lot of freedom, and they don't have a lot of respect. They don't have as much respect for boxing. I feel like UFC kind of has an agenda that they trying to push, as opposed to it being just a general MMA. There's other MMA promotions that have good strikers that could probably make for good fight, and they have good followings. And they will probably make a great appearance in the boxing ring where you could line up 4 of those guys with 4 of the premier boxers that we have out here in the U.S. And that could be something that happens in Vegas. It could be something that happens every year. They've been talking it's been so much talking back and forth between these dudes. Even tried to say Ronda Rousey could do something with Floyd. So they obviously desperate to push a narrative. So if y'all really feel like y'all that tough and y'all could really beat and compete with disciplined boxers who've been doing this for this long, line up 4 of your best. We're 4 of our best, and let's make it a $1 billion gate.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and as a fan, that would probably sound good. But think about it from the perspective as a boxer that's been doing it. Think about if you Jared Anderson, you Andy Ruiz, and now all of a sudden these UFC fighters get to hop over here, jump in front of you in line. They ain't work their
Ah,
way up. They ain't work no way through no rankings. And then
Nah, it's
boom, they
one
get a
hand washing the
decision.
other though. It's one hand washing the other because it's 4 of the best. It's 4 of the best in MMA versus 4 of the best in boxing. The boxing's gonna have the A side, they're gonna have the bigger financial gate, but it's 4 of the best representing, representing the sport. This could be anybody from, a Tank or Crawford or, pick 4 of your best boxers who's doing it right now, who will want to represent the sport. And I don't think that nobody in MMA will really have a side advantage, especially not in the financial aspect. They wouldn't have no advantages. We had to come to an even playing field. We have to make it fair for both fighters on both sides. But ain't no boxer gonna take no pay cut to fight no MMA guy. And it's more so just a merging of the industries. It shouldn't be a situation where one side really eats over the other. The problem that I see is that boxers seem to have a respect for MMA guys. I don't see no MMA. I don't see no boxers saying that, hey man, that MMA crap is, I go over there and do this, I go over there and do that. It's always a mixed martial artist that's talking about what they could do to a world-class boxer. So if y'all that tough, y'all already risking getting y'all teeth kicked out for pennies. We'll throw y'all a couple more pennies to see if y'all could, put y'all money where your mouth is and fight 4 of our best in the Las Vegas arena. I think that would make sense, and I think it would be I think that it could happen. Like it could work for both industries on the combat front.
Well, I mean, I think on the combat front, that sounds good, but on the business front, that may not be a good look because not saying the competition. I'm talking about from a standpoint of the fan base. There's not a lot of boxing fans who follow UFC. So they would have to buy into that product first so that when you cross market it, you can bring both audiences together. But if you got one side of the equation where boxers don't really watch, boxing fans don't really buy into the product of MMA, it's not going to work. Now, if they buy into now look at Floyd and Conor. Once in a blue moon type situation. Fury and Ngannou. Once in a blue moon. Look how many years have passed since we've seen this between Floyd and Conor. I think that was 2017 all the way to Fury and Ngannou. I don't know if we've seen it in between that, but years had went by before we saw that. But the thing about it is both audience have to have the same demographic. And I just don't see boxing and UFC having the same demographic. Combat sport wise, yes, but I'm talking about money wise. So I don't know if that would actually work. I mean, it's a good idea. Because like Tszyu said, and like I was saying, you got fighters that have been in line for a while that's trying to get a crack at the title or at least a big payday, even if it's not a title on the line. And then you got this guy that's come right on over there to boxing from MMA. He just slid right in. They're like, dang, I couldn't even get a title shot. So, I mean, I don't know.
I feel that for sure. But I think it could happen. Like I said, it could definitely go bad. But I think from that premise, I think that boxing could definitely make it work. And I do think that, if we working with boxers or if we working with MMA guys, see, with the fans, you have, like you said, you want to make sure that the demographics can merge. Some of these boxing guys want to see their guys. Some of the boxing fans want to see their favorite boxer knock out an MMA guy. Some of the MMA guys want to see the possibility of them, of their favorite athletes, doing their thing in the boxing ring. So even in the area where these guys may not be knowledgeable of each other or across industries, they may just have enough, a lot of those McGregor fans just wanted to see the possibility of Floyd getting his chin touched. And that novelty alone was enough to sell the fight beyond beyond what some boxers could have sold it. So, I think that there's, it's room for money to be made. It doesn't have to go all bad, but I definitely get the whole idea that, boxers been putting in work. It's a lot of people that's been putting in work, and shouldn't nobody necessarily have the opportunity to blemish anybody's career or record if they haven't, been in line, or they haven't really put in that, put in that work and put in that pain.
Hey, Ironheart.
Yeah.
I want to know, did Kimbo Slice, did he start from the bottom, or did they throw him straight in there?
Yeah, I think he started. Yeah, I think he started from the bottom. Honestly, I think that first fight was a little fishy. Like, I be thinking it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that go on where fighters might, they might just go in for a paycheck. And I really think that first fight with Kimbo, he kind of laid down. As soon as they pulled it up, it was like after party at such and such, So he seemed very composed to take that loss, and I think there's a lot of that going on at a higher level, in the novelty fights of the sport. But I do think Kimbo did have, great hands, a great hand game and a great discipline, aside from all the theatrics that came with the MMA shit, or pardon me, with the MMA stuff that went down.
Yeah, because I was wondering, with the fan base that he had behind him, it's pretty much like the same way with Francis. They didn't throw Kimbo in there for a title shot. So I understand where 2 Cents is coming from, as far as like, why is he next in line? So I get it both ways, though. I understand.
For sure.
And if the census of the fans is the best fight the best, that's all we keep hearing. I want to see the best fight the best. This ain't the best fighting the best. So we're going away from what we keep saying we're asking for, and the reason why we saying the sport is dying is because the best not fighting the best. So not only is the best not fighting the best, these ain't even boxers. And I get what you're saying. In order to do MMA or mixed martial arts, you have to know how to box, but they're not boxers.
But the thing is that if you go to the top of the, if you go to the, like Anderson, people I like using Anderson Silva as, he always had a high respect for boxing. The decorated guys that I've worked with have always had a high level respect for boxing. This was no old boxing versus MMA thing. Like there's a gray area with mixed martial artists where it's kind of like a safe haven for bad boxers. These dudes could still wrestle, or they could go learn jiu-jitsu, or they could learn some other facet of the art and still be alongside these strikers and call themselves fighters and stuff. So I think that for the people who's at the top, who's not necessarily pushing that narrative, it could give boxing a greater sense of respect, because some of these people don't know that, like, these dudes are lions like y'all think y'all are. And I think that, like, there's a market for novelty fights, just like Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather was. At some point, I think you got to let somebody kind of pet the lion and realize, and let them get bit by the lion to realize that it's a lion, and maybe you should stay your ass back in the cage, or stay somewhere where it's safe at, because just because it looks like we're doing two different things, it may not, the same risk is still there. And I feel like MMA is really going, or pardon me, UFC is going a lot harder to push the idea that boxers are throwing soft punches, as opposed to that's not the general perspective of how most mixed martial artists feel. So I think if you took the right mixed martial artists and then lined them up with the right boxers, I think you would also have a great show, and that the fans could also be more knowledgeable of what the boxers do.
So
my question is, if Ngannou would have won, would he have gotten Fury's belt?
And in my opinion, Ngannou won.
Okay, I'm saying if they would have gave it to him, would he have got Fury's belt, and then Ngannou would have been fighting for undisputed next fight?
Hey, I wouldn't say he need to fight for undisputed the next fight, but technically Ngannou is kind of like the heavyweight champion of boxing. That's just my opinion. I can't wait for the judges. I can't always let the judges have a bad opinion, and let that push the narrative or discredit what that man did. You know, like he wasn't supposed to survive in there with Tyson Fury. I really thought, and I don't have no faith in Tyson Fury. I really think that, you know, I think Tyson Fury is a bad representative for boxing. For I'm pretty sure reasons that y'all made that you know some of y'all may identify with, and I really feel like yeah, that fight wasn't a good look, but you know we shouldn't disrespect what Ngannou did in the ring. I feel like he kind of earned something. He earned some type of trophy for that. He earned more than just a bad
I'm just
decision.
trying to make a point, though. I'm just trying to make a point. Like, if Ngannou would have won, because Tyson Fury was supposed to fight for undisputed next. If Ngannou would have beat Tyson Fury and took his belt, would he have been fighting Usyk next?
Nah,
You get what I'm trying to say? You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
that's not what should happen. Nah.
To me, it doesn't. Hey, I get it. I don't mind the crossing over. I don't mind the MMA fighting the boxers. But this man has an undisputed fight after you. Why is this who you're fighting? That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
You
but
should have been
that
fighting
was
somebody that if they would have beat you, then they would have been next in line to fight for the undisputed title. Like, it's no time for games right now. Like, you have a belt. You got an undisputed fight coming up. We want to see, quote unquote, the best fight the best. If you fight somebody else, that's cool. Fight somebody else. Fight another boxer. Fight another boxer with a fight Wilder. Wilder, he about to retire. He about to get out the door. He not in line for nothing. That would have made more sense to me than you fighting Fury.
True
Hey,
indeed.
2 Cent. At the end of the day, we can only blame Wilder. We can't blame nobody else. We can't blame UFC. We can't blame boxing. We can't blame Francis. We can't blame Joshua. We can only blame Wilder. He made this happen. So at the end of the day, it's his fault for real.
He was supposed to win that one. He was supposed to beat Parker.
It was all lined up.
True
it was all
indeed.
lined up. It was like wrestling. They already had it in the story. He messed it up.
In the script.
But also,
money grab. Quick money
grab.
But
the Ngannou Fury fight was before the Wilder Parker fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, so it really is
like,
on Fury.
I think y'all missing my point.
It's
like,
Fury's fault. Because I think that Fury
should not have been fighting Ngannou when he has the undisputed fight next. He should be fighting somebody, either a quote unquote tune up to get ready for that fight, or he should be fighting somebody that if they beat him, they would be qualified and next in line to be able to go fight Usyk. Not somebody this is their first professional fight. Fight somebody that has a name, that's been a champion, that's past all of that at this point. Just like Mayweather didn't fight Conor McGregor in the middle of his career. He fought him at the end when he was on his way out the door. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the thing is that I think Tyson Fury was trying to capitalize off of Francis' inexperience to have a good showing, to kind of do that, you know, the MMA versus boxing thing. Francis was at a standstill with negotiations because Dana White did not want to pay him what he deserved in the John Jones fight. So that's where you got eyes on you when you're going at the boss about, you know, about some money that you deserve. And then this is where Tyson Fury comes in like, hey, you know, it's a novelty thing. Hey, man, I'm saying, like, look, I'm over here. Look, I got some extra crumbs for you. We may not give you that, but I can give you more than what you've been making. And I think that they were trying to, you know, capitalize off of, if you looked at Francis's highlights prior to, if you looked at his hand game, you would never think that he would survive with Tyson Fury. If you looked at what he did in the MMA with his hands, you would never think that he was going to put on that show that he put on. And he showed the ability to learn at pretty much the highest level in competitive sports overnight. So that shouldn't necessarily go discredited. And, you know, at the end of the day, it just backfired on Tyson Fury. Like, it's really his fault because he kind of, he risked that reputation. Anybody else who was doing that, when Floyd took on Conor, Floyd knew that there was nothing Conor could do with him. He didn't use a single shoulder roll the whole night. He didn't use a single shoulder roll in that fight. So he knew that there was no risk based on his skill level. Tyson Fury overestimated his skill level. And now it's backfired. And now we have an unchampion that's, you know, that's pretty much trying to, you know, I can't blame Francis for trying to ride this wave as long as he could. I think that this could be, you know, if people get on the right side of the spectrum, it could be a lucrative opportunity for both parties, especially because Francis isn't just the MMA guy no more. He's not with the UFC. So we like this could really be, you know, that line, you know, I guess that line drawn in the sand of what it takes to make a mixed martial artist. If we just get him in gear with the boxing, because the MMA promoters may not want to deal with him no more. The MMA promoters may not want to, they can't pay him what he's getting paid now. He's getting paid basically boxer money. So I think that, like I said, there's room to capitalize. He shouldn't get no undisputed shots and no nothing like that. He shouldn't be stepping on anybody's toes who's already been in boxing, but he's in a good place where he could kind of get in line. And
he's ranked in the top 5 of the WBC, I believe.
that's WBC though. Like I wouldn't take that too serious, you know. I just, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And Fury did that. You know, if we should be mad at anybody, we should be mad at Tyson Fury.
Francis Ngannou said that he made more with the boxing world than he did the UFC his whole career. He said he made in one fight. He said that in one fight. In one fight. So go back to what manager Brother Tate Marty said, man, it's all about boxing as being the business. And that's where we starting to see more business aspects of boxing than we are seeing the legacy, like NHA was saying earlier. He was putting the legacy over the business. But now it's all about the business. We're seeing the business aspect of boxing more than we are seeing the legacy aspect. And we're seeing that just in the exhibition fights with like 2 Cents said, it's not fair for the rest of the boxers that's been there for years for somebody to come in there and just say, hey, yo, I'm ranked in the top 10, top 15 now. You've been here for years, but I come in with no fights, with no experience, coming from a whole other world of UFC, and I come in to fight a boxer as in Tyson Fury, which I think was a money grab. That was a money grab because, like she said, you have no business. If you're about to fight for undisputed with Alexander Usyk, what are you doing fighting a so-called crossover fight? What to say he lost? But like bro said, man, that was scripted and that was a quick money grab. But who wouldn't want to get 10, 15 mil real quick? Similar, I think you said earlier, if you can go over there to Saudi Arabia and get 100,000, you would do it, right?
Shit, in a heartbeat.
If you got something planned up, man, we're gonna go over there and get a passport, bro. I'm gonna go over there with you so we can do that. Straight up. Because if these YouTubers can do it, and like 2 Cents said, it's embarrassing the boxing, but is it of course to us who love the sport, the question becomes this: is it a new era that we in to where we can make money quicker off the computer? You know, it's not an analog no more. You know what I mean? It's all digital now. You can make money by the click of a button. People making deals off of, you know what I'm saying, being UFC fighters who don't really know nothing about boxing. Look at Shannon Briggs and Rampage. You know, they did an event before and made some money. So, you know, if it's about business and it's making dollars, why not? You know, it don't matter who get offended. We ain't in it for the feelings. We in it for the dollars. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Good point.
Go ahead over there, Shaheed. You already got your snack pack.
Hey, I'm not dealing with the snack program. Hey, I got the snack products, but it's similar to what our brother said, man. The snack product, you know, I just had surgery. It put me to sleep. The snack product worked, but I ain't dealing with the snack program. I don't need my performance enhanced because I'm a natural athlete, so I don't need to enhance my performance at all.
Fast.
You know, Terrence, he only needed a couple iron pills. That's what they say.
Yeah, with a prescription over the counter iron pills.
And a blood test. And a blood test.
Comprehensive blood test. And, all right, so with that being said, let's get everybody 30 seconds. We almost 3.5 in. Ironheart, I'll let you go first. Give us your last 30 seconds, man. What you got for us?
Hey, man. Look, I'm just now, like I said, I'm just getting introduced to all your content. I've been fighting with my little brother about this whole Spence Crawford thing, and I'm glad I found your channel because you seem to be talking about the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that we really need to acknowledge, and it's like you're the only platform that's really talking about it. So I'm just happy to be in attendance at this point, and I definitely will be here at the top of the next discussion so I could drop my 2 cents on that, you know, and get more than 30 seconds. But hey, I'm here now, man. Follow me on YouTube. I also do my own training, MMA stuff, you know what I'm saying, boxing, all of that goodness. So y'all can follow me over there, you know.
You got it, my brother. I appreciate your viewership and your support. And I'm glad you're able to recognize that I am probably the only channel that is qualified to talk about what happens behind the scenes. Because I always say some other channels, and I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying the difference is what you're evaluating is that they talk about reactions. I talk about transactions, and I really do know what happens behind the scenes because I'm in the business and I've been in the business for a while. And so I just like to educate the people so that all of us can be on the same page. So when things are happening and when things are not happening, we will have at least a glimpse as an audience to understand why. So that's why I always break down the business of boxing and what goes on behind the scenes. Because most people that don't know, I noticed this on YouTube, it's very easy to do this. When they don't know, they'll say, well, the business of boxing, that's the reason why. They don't even know the business of boxing.
Right.
Haven't even made a transaction, haven't even fought in boxing or nothing. They say that because they don't have anything else to offer the audience. And me, I'm really genuinely just saying it because I know what's going on and I want all of you to be educated. So I appreciate you coming over, my brother, and we look forward to hearing and seeing you again. We'll be back here live again Monday, God's will, Monday, 4:30, and we're gonna kick it off again. So I appreciate you coming by again, man.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all opening up the platform for me, brother.
Salute. Who else we got up there? Lucky McKinnell, you still here, my brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Give us your last 30 seconds. What you got for us, Luck?
Well, look, I ain't gonna be like the guy from the other night. You told him 30 seconds and he took about 3-4 minutes. So I'm gonna say everybody have a good weekend and I'll see y'all Monday.
My man.
Yeah.
Salute, Lucky. All right, 2 cents. Where we at, girl? Where we going? What we doing? What we doing?
Manager Marty, love your platform. Like I say, thank you for letting me come up here. I just dropped my link in the chat. Y'all sub to the channel. My channel ain't nothing like Marty's. I just give my opinion and my 2 cents about the things that's going on around boxing. And I'm always interested in hearing other people's perspective and how they feel about it. So we really just have a good time chit-chatting about what's going on over there. And I want to say this. I hear a lot of people saying now, well, I don't care about the business. I just want to see the fight. And from what I understand, in my journey through boxing, from going from a casual to a quote unquote hardcore fan, once you get so deep into this, you have to start understanding the business of boxing. Otherwise, it's never going to make any sense to you. And it's 80% business and 20% boxing. So you cannot care about the business all you want to. You're going to continue to be frustrated and upset because you're not learning and seeing exactly what's going on and why things are happening the way that they're happening. So that's why I'm very appreciative of Manager Marty's channel. I learned so much over here, and it's made boxing make so much more sense to me. And if y'all in the chat and you haven't subbed to the channel, please sub to the channel. Come over here, and then when you go on other people's channels, you can bust them across the head because you got all the information.
Yes,
Peace out.
indeed. Double salute to you, 2 cents. Thank you so much. Y'all go subscribe to 2 cents Boxing's channel. She does some good stuff over there. And of course, when she blessed us with her presence on our panel, she always gives logical information. And I love her perspective. And I thank 2 cents for being a member of the channel and always supporting me. Y'all know how we do. I let Shaheed, when he's up here, I let him close the show out. I want everybody to please enjoy your weekend, have fun. I thank everybody for coming out, the contributions we had with the financials and your time, which is more important. Thank you all so much for coming through. I had a good time, and I know I spent probably almost nearly 2 hours breaking down the business side of the Haneys, and that wasn't for me to disrespect or discredit Bill or Devin, but I just want everybody to understand what's really going on. It's a whole lot of disguising going on, and it's confusing more of the boxing community in the audience. And I wanted to make sure that I come and give fresh bread to you, something that you would never hear nowhere else on the YouTube boxing community by educating you all on the business of boxing. So I thank you all for coming through. Come on back here Monday, 4:30, and I'm going to be dropping content throughout the weekend, of course. And I'm going to let my brother Shaheed give his little 30 seconds. I'm out, and as soon as Shaheed done, I'm going to pull out the same way I pull in with one of the hottest intros on YouTube. Shaheed, salute to you, brother. Thank you for coming through, as always, brother. And roll the tape.
Well, you already know, man. I salute to everybody on the panel. You know what I'm going to say. Manager Marty for educating us today on the business of boxing. And the world needs to be educated on that, just far beyond the entertainment aspect of it. But what you said today to come full circle about the Haneys, you got me in thought about that. And Devin needs to go ahead and speak up and take a little bit more control of his career, similar to, come full circle, the master subject with the predicate. And I'm going to look forward to seeing Devin Haney taking more control of his career after watching this podcast today, because we know they probably more likely watching. So shout out to you for educating us on that. And shout out to you for giving that love, honor, and respect to Devin Haney to take, soak up some of that knowledge that you give. Peace and love.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far